That track truly does send me into space. Thank you, StreamYard Stock Options.
Spacewalking, baby.
Spacewalk, spacewalk, spacewalk.
Spacewalk.
Walking in space.
Hey, dude,
Got
did they
my
ever
heartbeat
catch that
like-
gorilla that escaped from the zoo and punched you in the eye?
They did. They found him. They shot him. Shot him dead.
No, what happened to Harambe?
That was exactly what happened to Harambe. R.I.P. Mahomes.
The untold stories.
We all know that's what set this dark timeline alight.
Yeah, 2016 was the last hopeful year for a lot of people. It was the last time Jimmy Fallon genuinely laughed on The Tonight Show, for example.
He's had a couple real laughs in the last few years. But it's because people are, about to say some pretty racy stuff that he's kind of like nervous about. And he's like, oh. But it is funny to him.
Like flavored seltzer water sucks. Like,
What kind of take is that? It's a bad take.
You're afraid of the truth, man.
It's a bad take.
I like drinking stuff I hate.
I know we're live, but are we recording too?
That's why I like IPAs. Wait, what?
I know we're live, but are we recording too?
We are live. I don't know if we're recording.
Yeah.
Yes, we're recording.
Cool.
And these should be available in the live playback, but I was recently informed we should be also posting these as recorded videos.
Yeah.
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 They get distributed differently in the algorithm or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do is I'll download them to my PC, upload them later. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get your shit up.
Get your shit up.
At least we're trying, out here.
Out here hustling all day, getting our shit up.
Giving effort, shitting everywhere.
100%.
Shitting all over the place.
No, just one place. Up, bro.
You're shitting up?
Yeah, that was my only instruction here.
Up.
Yeah.
Up?
Why do you think I've been drinking all these like seltzers?
But your bum is
Bubbles
down.
help it rise. Yeah, but the bubbles help it rise. You got to think clear.
I guess that makes
You're an
sense because
American,
in that book, the BFG, they had the fizzy bubbles that went down and everything came out of their butt.
Well,
so if you reverse that and we have bubbles that go up, then yeah, okay, I buy it.
what was that?
Or the South Park logic as well, where you eat the other way.
They had a few good ideas about
Trey and Matt were onto some stuff, man. They were true pioneers of their time.
Well, the outstanding contribution to bowel movements that I credit South Park Forever with. There's a whole bunch, but one of the biggest ones was the invention of the toilet by John Crapper, and how everyone's sitting on the toilet the wrong direction.
Yeah, you're supposed to. That way you have a spot for your chocolate milk. Yeah.
Chocolate milk, yeah, and stuff.
And your comic book. Yeah.
Yeah. How else are you supposed to, sign the Declaration of Independence or whatever?
Did they do that on the Crapper?
Yeah.
I had
a big
of history, but I mean, you learn something new every day. Shane Gillis had a fantastic special on George Washington that I learned a lot from.
Oh, the peanut guy?
Not the peanut guy.
Good old G.W. Carver, baby. That's who everyone's the most famous George Washington of all time.
Um,
Hey, it's
have
2
you
a.m. on a
read
Friday. What
any
do you want? What do you
history?
want?
Have you read any single history book that's ever been written about the
Yeah,
Revolutionary
of
War?
course. The history of Peanuts. Peanuts. Peanuts reflection.
Okay.
Contested thought about peanutology.
So
And
what
of
I'm
course, Mr.
what I'm
Peanut's
seeing here is
biography.
that your knowledge is really
Autobiography here. I forgot he wrote
deep.
it himself.
You've got really niche knowledge.
It really isn't a full autobiography. He really just covers the time after World War One. But you don't really control when you release these things, and he didn't know he was going to live another 30 years. So
So would you say that you have a very deep reservoir of this one knowledge, but in fact, no knowledge of any other U.S. historic events?
what? Hey, look, a draft is starting. I'm gonna go and share my
Okay.
screen.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. And we're off, ladies and gentlemen. In about a minute and 20 seconds. Troy, I do want to get back to this George Washington dilemma. So you're telling me you've only read about this one person and you've read so much about this one person that you've managed to neglect basically every other facet of human history, particularly United States history.
Well, no. I like I said, I read both Mr. Peanut's autobiography and then, of course, in the history of Peanuts. It not only talks about Mr. Peanut, but yes, George Washington Carver's also in there too. So I know of at least two people.
Okay. Okay.
And like when it's just
So
you and you meet someone else, that's
what
an infinite multiplication of your network because before it was just you, and then it's like two. So like that's infinite.
okay. So if you have time, you should play the game that this flag is based off of. It's Assassin's Creed 3. You'll learn it's an inaccurate history, but it is
What
a
does Assassin's
version of
Creed 3
it.
have to do with the Dallas Mavericks?
They just go together.
Oh,
Dirk was a cold-blooded assassin, so
he fought in the different Revolutionary War
nah, he just won a lot of games.
against some hard opponents.
Had one of the best championship runs, if not the best championship run of all time.
I assume
I
Jamar
like
Chase.
Jamar Chase, Puka, JSN, McCaffrey, Taylor. I like everybody
Necessarily,
but
necessarily in
Jefferson.
the summer, I tend to just leave these top 12 picks just the way they come, except from the McCaffrey one. I'm throttled down my exposure. I still take him when I'm feeling dicey, but I don't like him in the first round.
You
I
have to
got some
have
mixed feelings
some
about
spots.
these guys back here, but what are your thoughts on McCaffrey specifically?
Uh, the
Right?
upside is too there. Here's the thing: if you can get any of the other like top 5 guys, and you're more comfortable with those guys, but maybe you don't like Jamar Chase or you don't like. There's no way that you like McCaffrey over Bijan or Jameer Gibbs. I don't think. But if you don't like him or if you like him over the receivers, I can go ahead and see why people would be taking him 1-3 maybe. But I don't think there's really any justification taking him 1-1 or 1-2.
And a full PPR site, these receivers in the first round, just as like more of a macro strategy here, like a way to approach every draft, not just each specific one. Um, I really think with the receivers in the first round on a full PPR site, these guys have such a ceiling. It's really hard for receiver twos to catch up. Take like CD Lamb any given game, we're talking 40 points. But if I take a running back here instead, I don't have the screen there. Take a running back here instead, and then I do receiver in the second round. Um, London still has that sort of ceiling, but where does it cut off? Around Pickens, Collins. Collins is right about where you lose 40 point. outcome. I mean, AJ Brown and Rashi are here.
Yeah, I mean Olave
Olave,
and Neighbors have pretty high upside. AJ Brown has a 3 touchdown game in him at any given point.
right?
Especially if he does end up in New England, he's going to be playing some really weak defenses.
Past that range though, like receiver really dies out. Whereas I don't know, with McCaffrey, for example, there are outcomes where Tootin could be what McCaffrey was last year. Like that's a possible range of outcome. Let's see who else.
There was another
Bryce
Penn
has
State
still
running back
catches
that just got
passes.
drafted. I don't think people are paying enough attention to him. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I get his name right.
What? Who are you talking about?
It's a Penn State running back that just got drafted this year.
Katron Allen to the Commanders.
Maybe.
And then there's also Nick Singleton to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, Singleton.
Yeah, so Singleton's story, I was talking a bit about him last time, but good size back, very athletic, cut into some of the workload for Katron Allen for Penn State, which is saying something because Katron is Penn State's leading rusher of all time.
I was watching a little game film on this guy earlier, and it seems what he does that's going to keep him on the field the best is his ability in the pass block game.
Yeah, that'll
his ability to not only pick up a blitz, but to be able to put that defender straight up into the ground was really, really impressive. Plus, his ability to be able to line up at 3 or 4 different positions on the offensive end gives him a lot of versatility, just a lot of opportunity to be on the field. I think if Tennessee's smart, they'll go ahead and use him a little bit, like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Actually.
So his story this offseason, there's a reason we're drafting him in the 190s, and it's because he broke his foot. And I think it was definitely before the combine because he didn't test at the combine, but I think this was recent, like in the last few months, or January, something like that. And so that timetable may have him return back for week 1, right? But he's behind 2 established backs, and Tennessee didn't bring in any other veterans. And these guys are already under contract with Pollard and Spears. They can make some money back against the cap by cutting Pollard, but in a year that they're not going to do anything anyways, and this kid's coming off a broken foot, I could totally see. And then of course they've got Tyjae Spears as backup. I could totally see a slow ramp up for Singleton, if anything, this year. It's really hard for me to see the offense overall, for example, sustaining 2 running backs. Let alone a 3rd rookie coming along when the coach already likes both of the guys ahead of him a good deal. Unless we see a severe fall off or an injury, of course, it's hard for me to see Singleton as involved as we want him to be. Still worth a stab at the end of the draft.
I think he's a good late-round is where I'm at on him. And I think Tennessee felt that way as well because they picked him up in the 5th round. But the talent's there, the ability is there. He played at a college that played against some serious competition, so it's not like he's sitting, playing in like the SWAC or anything like that or the Mountain West.
Yeah.
This is
real quick on the clock here. We got a serious fall on Omarion Hampton down to 22. Do you want to take him here? Do you want to go Henry, Bowers? I like all top 3 options here.
I like Love really the most out of this range just because he's got the upside, but I'm okay with any of the top 3 here as well.
Spot choice, 2 seconds.
Pick it up.
I'm going to go Love. No, my mouse pad. Let's see if I got it in time.
No, we might have got Hampton. Oh, we did.
We got Love. Okay.
Nice.
I was okay with Hampton here as a fall. I really like the Chargers offense as a whole. I think Mike McDaniel's going to turn the ship around. I love Justin Herbert. I just think he's been hurt. His offensive line's been hurt. They really haven't been able to put together since his rookie year. I think the talent's been there this whole time, though, the legs, all of it. And Hampton is going to be a big part of a train coming through LA, and I really like the Chargers. Bowers, there's a lot to say for him. I think he can really separate it. He can always separate every year, right? But I mean, this landscape of tight ends specifically, I think he can really, really separate because I think McBride's going to take a step back. I think Loveland is he's going to compete for targets, but I can see Bowers just dominating. Do you want to go ahead and pick up Bowers here on the fall to 27? Do you want to get Malik Neighbors off a potential 4-week absence at the start of the season?
No, I'm not. I don't like Neighbors to start the season. Maybe Olave, but Bowers is definitely going to be the best bang for our buck here if we don't want to go Josh Allen. Yeah.
No, I'm completely cool with Bowers, and in fact, in general, I hate Josh Allen this year where he's going. I think obviously Josh Allen's, if not the best quarterback in the game, maybe certainly the best fantasy quarterback, but Lamar going like 2 rounds later.
And Dak
that's
going
the same ceiling. Jaden Daniels going 3 rounds later. That's the same ceiling and almost floor, right? Like,
plus there's guys like Matt Stafford too. I mean, there's a ton of quarterback value late in the draft. You don't need to be.
And then if you think about who you're missing at the same time, it's not just who am I picking up instead, but like who am I missing as a result. So do the 2v2 with like, I don't know, Chris Olave or Travis Etienne or any of these guys and a 10th round quarterback versus, Josh Allen plus a 10th round running back or a 10th round receiver. It's not even close, man. I'd much rather have Stafford and Josh Jacobs than Josh Allen and Blake Corum,
I guess it just depends on who's available at the window. I wasn't in love with any of the options, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's usually when I start doing stuff like picking Josh Allen in the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah, so like I'm still gonna take him every now and then, especially on DraftKings. He like just mix it up.
You can't not. He's got a lot of upside going with him, and he plays in such a weak division. It's hard to believe that he wouldn't have a productive season fantasy-wise.
If I was drafting 10 teams, I wouldn't draft him. But since I'm drafting, well beyond like a few hundred at least, then I'm going to take him maybe 2 to 4%.
Right.
But I really don't like him this year. The same way I'm kind of shying away from McCaffrey. There's hardly anybody else in the top 2 rounds that I shy away from as much at the price, except for Devon Achane. I'm really, really worried about Achane this year.
I'm that way with Jefferson. I feel like Achane's just going to get his, you know what I mean? Like he's going to get his.
They're going to have to run the offense through him, but like how long are they going to have to when they're not competitive for a playoff spot?
It's just such a weak division defensively, man. Like, I mean, outside of the Jets for a quarter and a half, they're just so bad in that division.
Yeah. No, you can see like, within the first 10 games, Achane having like 4 monster weeks.
At least
good floor ceilings for the rest of it, but
at least he's an explosive back too. And if there's one thing Miami does is put the ball on the ground and put the ball in the screen. So he's going to get catches. He's going to get yards. I don't know, man.
I mean, we got to see does Malik Willis throw to the running back? Like he has such a small sample, the starter, and no samples outside of the one offense he's in before. So, like, do we assume he can? I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see from the offense, but that's exactly my point. I think Achane has he has the ceiling of a number 1 running back. Absolutely. He could outscore Gibbs and Bijan in a given season if he had a serious offense in the same situation. He's right there talent-wise, I think, with those guys. And he showed that he could stand up to the volume last year. I'm just saying from the situation for the whole team, there's no way that team's competitive through 17 games. They're going to fold it in. And unfortunately, this site, week 17 is everything, man. Like the $3 million up top, I'd much rather have Kenneth Walker at the same price. I'd rather have Genty. I'd rather have certainly Taylor. I'd roll the dice on McCaffrey. I'd rather have McCaffrey over Achane for the same reason. When weeks 15, 16, 17 roll around, I don't think Achane's taking 20 carries. I think the backups are fully in play, and that's either Jalen Wright or Ollie Gordon.
Teams don't usually do that anymore, though. Not the bad teams. The bad teams run their guys out because those dudes are still playing for contracts.
They just signed Achane to a multi-year contract. They locked him. That's why I know they're going to shut him down at the end of the season. He's not playing for anything.
I hate everyone in this range. Hate them all.
I have the least of McConkey,
I like Jameson Williams
and Adams.
I'm okay with Devontae Adams. I don't like Burden. I'm not a huge fan of Waddle, but I'll take him here and there. McLaurin's got a lot of upside.
The player you like the most, unless you feel stronger about McConkey.
I feel nothing about the Chargers offense.
All right, let's go. We're
I
gonna go
have
with
no
Jameson
faith
because
in
I
him.
think I have him the least, and it's nice to get that exposure.
Yeah.
I think that Lions Bears game can go off with any of the other games at the end of the season.
We
So good
absolutely
candidate.
need to go running back with our next pick.
Okay.
Like, we don't have a choice. We
Montgomery's
already
my
missed out
favorite,
on
but
it's Judkins, Monty, and that's it.
yeah, Swift is another candidate. I think in the same range. Judkins, I'm hearing not great stuff about the injury. I think he might be a slow start, but I'll take him over Monty if you want to. I think Montgomery is a smash pick here, though.
Yeah,
53. I really
it's
love
no
him.
preference between the two. I've got the same exposure to both. It's just whoever's most available in that draft, I guess. Usually one or the other's gone by the time I'm looking for my RB2 or 3.
Yeah, we'll find out. They may still yet be gone.
If they're both gone, then we're
we got one or
shit
the
out of
other
luck
now.
on running back.
No, I think Swift. I think Swift will do what Judkins does at least this year. I don't think he has the touchdown equity that Montgomery has. I think Monty will have more touchdowns than both those guys, maybe even combined.
Maybe.
I'm not kidding either, because with Judkins, like it's a bad leg break. He's got a good enough backup, and said, yeah, Montgomery fell. You want to lock him up, or do you want to feel stronger about Judkins? I'll take either one for our team.
I like Monty.
Okay.
And Houston's offense is good enough that they'll be in the red zone a lot. He'll get a little bit of work between the 20s.
Yeah, we talked at length one of our first shows about the Houston defense probably going to dominate weaker teams and put Montgomery in some multi-touchdown week scenarios like easy. And that season-long prop, the 5.5 rushing touchdown, I can't wait to find a straight bet on that. Somewhere I don't have a straight sports book in Texas, so I've been looking for the call sheet line. And I've been looking for anywhere that I Novig, but it hasn't come out on Novig yet. But I don't want to put that in all my parlays in case, inevitably he gets like a torn ACL or something. I just think that's such a free square this year.
In all honesty, all of the preseason bets seem like we should take the overs on basically every single one. I mean, inevitably some injuries are going to happen, but I can't see guys like they had most of the starting quarterbacks under 4,000 passing yards.
So not everyone hits 4,000. The more we pay attention to,
but about 8 to 10 of them are going to.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way with Caleb. We thought that's the other gold star bet for us this year. We like Dak too. I think Dak's line was sitting just below 4,000, if I'm not mistaken.
3,700 or something like that when we made the bet. Last I checked, it was at 39.
Yeah, it should easily go up. And then Herbert is also embarrassingly low for no reason. His offensive line got healthy again, which is the only reason they tanked last year. They struggled last year. And they still were an okay team. They just didn't have the offense that we saw in week 1.
Right.
But anyways, so he's going to get his offensive line back, reloaded weapons at receiver, and he's going to be healthier, presumably. And he still cleared that mark last year. So his props at 3,650 or when we looked. And I think he hit 3,700 or just scraped that last year. So last year, with all that adversity, all those things going wrong, now he's about to get a pass-happy OC, or at least a pass-effective OC,
at least to throw the
and
ball
reloaded weapons.
Yeah.
Sign me up for the Chargers this year, man. I think they can always disappoint because they always seem to. They get conservative at the wrong moments, but this was such a not typical Harbaugh hire to me that I really I just believe in them to take that next step. Not to get to the Super Bowl yet, but
at least to get out of the divisional.
At
least to get out of maybe hit a conference championship.
And not lose embarrassingly in the playoffs, lose honorably to just a stout defense. But we'll see. We'll see what this offense can do if they can get him past. Because that Harbaugh, like Mike McDaniel, he's revered. He's thought of as a pass game guru in a lot of ways, but his work in the run game in the same season had Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane as 2 top 10 running backs. That's a lot easier when you got Tyreek and Waddle stretching the field and distracting attention from your backs and stuff. But like he's got to have something close to that in Keaton Mitchell and Omarion Hampton this coming year. So, and like I said, they're reloading everywhere. The defense on the Chargers is usually pretty good. They could be a serious contender, but Herbert's hitting 3,700 yards. So.
Oh yeah, easy. They also play in a pretty hellish division, though, to be honest. So it is kind of surprising that they.
Well, if you double click on that, take a look at the Chiefs defense again. They reload in the draft a little bit. Still Spags back there.
They're going to be good. This entire offseason, man. They made some moves. I think that's going to be a pretty exciting team.
But are they going to be, like the absolute mud pit, like the frozen mud pit that you go into in Kansas City every year, like twice when you play them? Probably not. Who do you like here, by the way?
I like Thomas, Tate. I've got a bit of Hubert going, but I don't like Carolina's backfield as a whole.
Gotcha. Do you like Washington at all? If not, I'll go Tate.
Sure, all of them.
I
don't hate that range at all. I like Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts to have great seasons. I like Hubert to have a pretty solid RB2 season.
So this team's shaping up so far with Jeremiah Love, David Montgomery, Jamar Chase, Jameson Williams, Carnell Tate, and Brock Bowers. I was about to say Javonte Williams.
I was about to too, and I was like, wait, no, we didn't get him. I was just thinking about him pretty hard. I was hoping he would fall. He didn't fall.
So in the recap, I was hoping to see if we had a stack there. We don't. Jalen Hurts makes the most sense to me. Happily pick him up if he falls. He does.
I like him.
Yeah, let's do it. He's a steal. He's gone like round 3, round 4, round 5 at the latest. Almost every year I've been playing fantasy football. After his breakout. Now he's going in the 6th, 7th round.
There's a ton of rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. There's a lot of speculation that I don't know if you heard about this line of thinking or not, but they drafted a rushing quarterback or something like that.
Specifically to put in those situations.
Push, yeah, because he's been kind of complaining about just wanting to be done with all that.
It probably hurts a lot to be like
pun intended.
It's got probably a combined 800 to 1,000 pounds on any given play falling on top of them.
Yeah. Great. And then Sirianni does dumbass things like lines you up to do it 4 times in a row.
I think Kelce retired specifically so he never had to run another tush push again.
Did you see that game when I think it was like I don't even remember. It was like week 5, week 6, something like that. But Sirianni lined him up from like the 3-yard line to run 4 tush pushes in a row.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was ridiculous.
Did it work?
I can't remember. I was honestly so frustrated. Well, 4 in a row, no, right?
Well, it might have.
It may have. They may have gotten a first down, and it was like the only reason he was running it was to get the first down, and then like 2 yards away from the touchdown or something. I don't know.
That's the thing. I mean, if it's 3 yards and I've got 4 plays, yeah, I'm gonna trust Jalen Hurts to get it at least once.
It has the vibes of when coach. Go ahead.
This is now like we've seen it for 3 to 4 seasons in a row now. It's only a matter of time before they start running the variations off of it. I saw UTEP of all teams get highlighted on national, or not, I guess not national television, but like on a credited Instagram page, like a CBS Sports and an ESPN, where they ran a fake tush push and they had the tight end just leak out for a seam route, and it was an easy touchdown. So I would be surprised if we didn't see some sort of variations of that play come into fruition this season. They've just been running it so effectively for so long.
I think Mark Andrews did one last year where he got like a 40-yard rushing touchdown or something. It was like because he takes QB sneaks for the Ravens. That's a good thing. He like rolled out and he's like really slow now too. So the whole defense was just thrown off. But I think I've seen the Eagles do that too. I think they ran one last year. They've got like tush push packages they can run out of. Yeah,
What do
no, I
you
think
think
he's
is worse, Mark Andrews scoring on that or Peyton Manning scoring against the Cowboys on a naked bootleg?
that was a bad feeling, especially because like Romo kept us in that game, and then we had to watch a guy
It
who
was
runs out.
it was
He,
simultaneously the most exhilarating and heartbreaking game I've seen in my life
Peyton's talked
because
about
my guy did it.
that game and how he only ran that play like twice a decade because that's how
Yeah,
often it'll work. If you put on
he's
film
so
too often,
slow.
then they're gonna leave the spot.
He's so
You know.
slow that nobody will ever expect him to hold that ball. So once every 5 years, he holds that ball and it's a touchdown. And I
The
hate
thing
him
is, he
for
didn't
it
wait for a
because
Super Bowl. He didn't wait for a playoff game. Even he
no,
just
he did it
played against.
against like he tried to
Uh,
outdo Tony Romo. The Peyton Manning had to play his best game of football to beat Tony fucking Romo. And
when Tony
people
with
try
no
to shit
defense
on that game.
again.
People try to shit on Romo so hard, and it's like, dude, fuck off. Peyton Manning played harder against Romo than he did against basically anybody.
Yeah, we got lots of thoughts on Romo. We got 2 picks up till we're up.
We
Makai
should draft
Lemon,
Romo. Draft him. Find him and draft him.
fine. Do you want Makai Lemon, Rico Dowdle, Jordan Addison? We can get a second quarterback, Mahomes.
I mean the second quarterback was going to be fine if Staffman was there, but he's gone. We should take Makai Lemon here.
No,
Actually,
Stafford will
so
be
we can
later.
get some stack. Go
Yeah,
up,
let's get Lemon. Plus the fall, dude. Like almost a 16 pick fall
dude.
for
And
Lemon.
it's not only that, but I think because AJ Brown is being rumored so heavily to go to New England, that Makai Lemon's going to step up and be a really heavy part of this offense. I'm not a huge fan of USC receivers, but
Yeah.
they do well in the NFL.
It depends on who you talk to about that Lemon stand. The bear case I've heard is that Jalen Hurts historically doesn't throw over the middle of the field. Makai Lemon's only success is over the middle of the field.
So in the middle.
So, like, I think then I heard a counter to that, by the way, which is, well, have you seen Makai Lemon play? Because this dude creates a lot of space. And despite
They do
A.J.
that.
Brown being A.J. Brown doesn't create a lot of space.
No,
Devontae
he
Smith
never
does.
created any space.
But none of
It
them,
was
neither of these guys really work over the middle of the field as effectively as Lemon did. And so the
I
comment here
like
is on Hurts' passing ability.
hey,
Who do you
we're on
want
the
here, by
clock
the
real
way?
quick. I like Rico here.
Yeah, let's get Dowdle. I like Dowdle the most.
I like
I
Jacoby
both
Myers too, but
I
you know
think
what,
a
dude?
third running
I
back
like
here.
Jacksonville's offense so much this year. I think they're going to be fucking exciting. I think there's
They
going to
will
be
be.
touchdowns galore to go around for the receivers in Jacksonville. I really do.
Yeah. Lawrence new haircut. It's on.
Did he get a new haircut? I don't like that. He needed to keep that sunshine look.
If you steal my sunshine,
Sunshine.
let
Sunshine.
the sunshine. Let the sunshine in. The sun.
Definitely felt like sunshine when I cut my hair.
Here comes the sun. Do, do, do.
Here comes the sun, and I say, it's
Closer, won't you come?
I don't know that one.
It's by that one band that also sings
Oh, they're
Boo Boo
pretty good.
Bop, Bee Boo Bop.
Yes, I'd like to hear that song again.
Boo Boo Bop.
The
No,
one that
you're thinking of Boo Boo Bebop.
boo bop, boo bop. Mr. Krabs is a robot.
Gonna wrap up a couple of thoughts here real quick. Back to
Your thoughts
Less
on Mr. Krabs
SpongeBob.
being a fucking robot, being a damn
Makai,
flanker?
Makai Lemon, I can see go either way. I certainly am not scared that Devontae Smith consolidates 30% of the target share every week. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll get 25, right? But I think there's going to be plenty of targets to go around. I do
Yeah,
think Dallas Goedert will take a step up in the volume, though, and the Eagles
eight
as a
to 10
whole,
targets a
between
game.
Bigsby, Barkley, we could just see him run like a 2 tight end set, and it's just Lemon and Smith throwing it up on the outside, and then them just pounding the rock. I can absolutely see them play that game, and then hone in on their defense, and just get back to being a good, solid team all around.
I think the Eagles should run 22 personnel, but they should run Y formation
Like a
with
wishbone.
Bixby and Saquon. Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet. And then they just
Bixby,
push out of
Saquon, and
it.
then you run the 2 tight ends and you have the 2 receivers, Smitty and Lemon on the outsides. Because
Yeah,
Smitty
and
at
then they
least
just
tries to block.
push all day. They should line up Devontae Smith to do the tush push. That's
Will you
Slim
be able to do any of that
and
stuff? Because like you could motion Bixby or Barkley out to be a third receiver, drop Jalen Hurts back in the shotgun if you want to do that. Like there's a
and
lot
then
to
Devontae Smith tush push,
wide
bam, out of
formation.
nowhere. All that misdirection, all those decoys in the backfield moving off. Barkley
Dude, it would
goes
be
outside,
insane.
Bixby goes outside, Hurts goes outside. Slim Reaper back there, baby. Who do
Run
you
the
want?
triple option, dude. You could run the triple option because you just want to use Bixby, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon in the same play.
Who do you want here, by the way? Second quarterback was Shaw. If not Worthy, stands
No,
out.
I like Worthy. I'm okay with Golden. I'm okay
I
with
start
Dobbs.
Worthy. Let's start talking to our next pick so we can get ahead of it. Right now we have a 1-3-5-1. We're pretty balanced overall. Maybe if
Probably
we
need another quarterback,
quarterback.
but I don't like Shaw at all. We
Really?
can wait on quarterback. There's definitely going to be somebody that we like a little more later on in the draft.
Pick again 140, 150. So maybe Stroud, Bryce Young, someone like that will be there.
That's
So
what
who
I'm
do you
thinking.
like from here then? Casey Concepcion sends out. I really like Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Jonathan Brooks. I've got a huge share of Jonathan Brooks going. I was wondering about Krosky Merritt actually, but
Let me star Brooks up for now, and then let's see if there's another pick we like. Yeah, so Krosky Merritt, who do you like?
I was just curious about him actually. I'm not a huge fan of Washington's offense as a whole,
Oof.
just because I don't know how Jaden Daniels is going to bounce back from the lackluster success last year.
Yeah,
But I do like pieces of the offense. Like I like Terry McLaurin a lot, and I feel like anybody who works opposite McLaurin is definitely going to benefit from that.
yeah,
But we got to pick.
yeah. I starred Brooks here.
Okay, we got Brooks. Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
run Brooks. But yeah, Krosky Merritt was just somebody I was curious about.
Yeah,
I'll
so
probably wind up taking him in a couple drafts just so I can keep track of him throughout the season.
we talked about it last time. One of the lessons of best ball has been like playing this year after year is you buy the volatile spots, you buy the three-headed backfields because you just don't know. Get Javonte Williams on that team because in the Cowboys, everyone's talking about Miles Sanders, everyone's talking about Jaden Blue, rookie coming out of nowhere. No, it's Javonte's and he's at pick 120, and you've got a third round asset back there. Now take shares of the other guys too because you don't know. There's plenty of examples. The Kyron and Puka year, right, stands out.
Right.
Kyron entering in a crowded backfield, and all of a sudden, is a rookie just out of nowhere.
Just a beast.
You just buy those pieces. So in general, it's a good asset to buy when the price is low. But besides that, the asset specifically with Krosky Merritt, the player, I don't know.
It's because I'm so uncertain about Washington's offense is what I'm hesitating on.
Well, the Commanders are going to be good with as long as Daniels is healthy, and I think the assumption is if you draft a Commanders running back, you are drafting as if Daniels stays healthy because otherwise you would much rather have any of these other dudes. You'd rather have Conception, even on the Browns. You'd rather have Jordan Mason on the Vikings as a starting running back. Aaron Jones is the other half of that backfield. I'd rather have both those guys if I knew Jaden Daniels was going to be hurt, right, instead of the Commanders guys, especially in that three-headed backfield. So, point being, if you take a Commanders back, you assume their Daniels is healthy anyway, so don't worry about it if you take them, and the price is low enough. Now, do you take them, and which one do you take? Krosky Merritt, this guy's a runner, doesn't really catch a lot of passes. He was left out of game scripts that he should have been included in heavier last year. Even though they weren't in an advantage they weren't in a position to take advantage of weaker run defenses a lot because they were just outright losing games with no Jaden Daniels back there.
Right.
He just didn't really impress, but the offense wasn't impressive. So will he have a better chance when the offense is flying? Yeah, but so will any other running back. And then they had Rachaad White, and Rachaad White's going to soak up a lot of targets, very much in a to me he's like Kareem Hunt, but still with like half a battery instead of no battery left in the 50-year-old tank. They both move slow. They both will dig up those short yardage. And, if you give them a 2-yard screen, they're going to take it somewhere. Rachaad White's he's got a little more bump to him, though. And then last you have Kaytron Allen, right? Penn State's all-time leading rusher. I think he can make noise toward the end of this season, if anything. But overall, you really want touchdown. I think I prefer Rachaad White here at the price. I don't like Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt that much, and I think he could easily be replaced by Kaytron, whereas I think Rachaad White's role is a little more stable with that pass catching featured and the pass blocking, and
I see that.
So I think Rachaad White's my answer there, but honestly, if it comes down to him or someone like Jordan Mason or Aaron Jones, I'm just going those other two guys. But again, I'm drafting a lot of teams, so I'm going to have a lot of just them. And you want to get that second quarterback now between Jones, Ward, Stroud?
Stroud or Ward. But we got a lot of Wards, so we should probably go Stroud here.
Yeah, and I think we have a piece of the Houston offense, right? Yeah, Montgomery. So we keep our team. I forgot. We got Jonathan Brooks. I wanted to talk about him for a second real quick. So all the reports have been really positive, all the coach speak and everything.
Yeah, man. It's kind of
the drum is getting louder.
Get that attention. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course he was he was in speaking of shared a committee at Texas when the last healthier seasons he had in college. He's playing alongside some serious talent, and he stood out and was actually the best of them. He just got hurt and remained and continues to get hurt. And when he plays in the NFL with a decently healthy knee, the games so far have been pretty good. I can't wait to see what he gets as he builds it. Situation's not great, right? We're talking about a split backfield and a bad offense.
Do you want to go Higgins so we can get the Stroud stack, or do you want to look for
maybe I like a second tight end here if there's a high enough ceiling one. If not, we can push it. But I like Big a lot.
I like Sadiq just because it's going to be Geno Smith for most of the season. But
I have hardly any Sadiq, so I'm just going to start him up.
But I also got no love for Strains maybe Juwan Johnson might have a bit of a season. Hunter Henry could be okay. Okonkwo's going to have
Johnson doesn't get hurt, he's going to score a shitload of points.
I'm terrified of him not playing. He's got as much pop as any other tight end in the league, at least in the last few seasons he has. But there's no consistency with him because it's 2 points 1 week, 30 points 1 week.
Yeah. Well, toward the end of last season, he actually had a very stable run. He's a guy I take a lot because he does stuff like this in full PPR sites.
Yeah, there we go. But check that out. We got those 2, 3, 3, that stretch of horribleness.
But he's a tight end. But also take a look at when this was happening because Tyler Shutt didn't get a start till week 8 or 9 or something.
Okay,
and so he had
that changes everything for sure.
Yeah, but they didn't have as many receiving options last year.
What I like most there is the target share that he was getting. But yeah, you're right. They did pick up a receiver. Olave's gotten healthier, gotten better over the last season.
Olave was injured a lot of last season. Yep, and then it also helped that the next most talented guy on the roster was Devon Vele. So yeah, Juwan Johnson was the only guy I could pass. Now, one further thing against Juwan Johnson, but it may be bullish because it may be good for the overall tight end spot in the offense. They drafted this young guy, Oscar Delp. Delp is a monster of an athlete. We have the dudes at Underdog, Josh and Hayden. They're awesome fantasy analysts, and they talk about players a lot. They both had Oscar Delp in their top 5 overall rookie tight ends. And that I think it was both of them had in top 5. But that's crazy because all anybody was talking about before the season was Kenyon Sadiq. and Stowers because of the speed and the athletic profile, and then Max Clare, right, and just series receiving guys. But Delp is good enough in the passing game while being a monster in the blocking game, and you could see just the overall shift that offenses are making toward tight end heavier sets.
Yeah.
We could probably just see a lot of 2 tight end sets out of New Orleans, especially because they don't really have a third receiver who's worth playing, in my opinion, like a lot. I'd rather just run Tyson out there and Olave, and then have those 2 tight ends.
Are we on an auto pick?
I guess we are.
Get us off.
Toggle that off.
And then get us out of this tight end menu.
Yeah.
We probably need another running back. We'll see what's in the range.
I like Algier as a handcuff. I like Mitchell for some spikes.
I actually wouldn't mind drafting Mendoza now because I think he's got a lot of late season upside. And we were talking about week 17.
I like Mendoza if he falls.
Yeah. I think that can be something very, very beneficial for us down the stretch.
Now, it's going to be hard to see without my mouse.
What do you mean? It's working fine.
It's working right now for the second. I was going to try and see if the 2 teams after us already had 3 quarterbacks because then we could push him to the next turn, or we could just fall back on Rodgers anyways. But I think without knowing that, we just grab our 3rd quarterback here.
Well, who else would you take here? Algier?
Yeah, Algier or Tucker.
Mendoza's got the better upside.
Okay. I like Rodgers equally to Mendoza, both in terms of it. I think Rodgers can have as much stats or better. Also, you get the full season from Rodgers, whereas we know at least Kirk Cousins will start.
Right. But we do have some pretty consistent quarterback play at the top of our roster. So I figured, like you were saying, 15, 16, 17 is so important. Vegas may not be playing for anything, but at the very
least, who they get to play, right?
Like they're going to be seeing what they got. So
who get to play week 17?
Is it a bad matchup?
Arizona, baby. So we got that Jeremiah Love against the Raiders defense, and then we're running that back.
Then we got Mendoza and Bowers versus.
That's the game, man.
I love
it. We can round out the Arizona backfield with Algier. We can get Keaton Mitchell.
I'm actually okay with anybody in that range, to be honest.
Let's get Mitchell just to have a piece of the Chargers, and we already bet on Love, so I don't think the Cardinals offense will be good enough to sustain 2 running backs.
Sustain 2 running backs, and that's why I'm so upset for Tyler Algier. But I do love the Cardinals for picking up Jeremiah.
He's gonna have 10 carries, and 8 of them will be touchdowns.
Maybe
they have 20 yards on the season.
What if Jeremiah Love just starts ripping off like 80-yard runs and the Cardinals offense doesn't have to?
That would be sweet.
I would love it, to be honest.
You guys get to play the Raiders in week 17. I'd love it too.
The box and Marvin Harrison would just go fucking nuts on the outside.
I wanted to in week 17.
That'd be great.
Yeah, what, for $3 million? Yeah, it would be nice. I'll take it. And then Bowers gets to run it back with 3 touchdown game.
Dude, I'd probably shit myself on stream if we actually fucking won $3 million. Like,
I think that so other streamers have drafted winning best ball teams, but to my knowledge, no one has drafted the flagship tournament winner on either main site on stream.
That makes me think it's fucking fixed, but
no, well,
they got algorithms.
It's hard to when you're streaming because
they got algorithms for them.
We don't have an audience, but the guys with like a few thousand people that people draft with them, they're talking through their thoughts while they're drafting, and so people just snipe them with who they're gonna want, And if you're big enough, you release like rankings and stuff, so people just know who you prefer, and they will just take them from you because
that sucks.
They can.
You know what? I'm gonna put out a secret real list that I like, and then I'm gonna put out a big false.
And then people pay you for the fake list.
That way, people don't fuck with me. You know what? I actually hate Ryan Flournoy late in drafts. You shouldn't be drafting him.
Do not take Flournoy.
He's not gonna get any fucking work.
Yeah, I'm gonna cover the Giants.
You should leave Javonte Williams alone. The Cowboys' offense is just gonna be dog shit. The Great Wall of Tyler will fall. Dak sucks. Don't draft Dak.
Definitely.
CeeDee Lamb is not worthy of 88. Don't draft him either.
Yeah, no Cowboys.
You guys are good. You guys are good to take
any Bears.
but leave
Stay away
those
from
guys
all the
alone
Bears.
because they suck and you don't want them.
No Chargers. Don't take any of those guys either. They're all trash. In fact,
Leave
just focus on the Browns. Focus.
everybody
This is
alone.
Cleveland's year, bro. This
In
is
fact,
Deshaun Watson redemption
crap.
season.
This is Cleveland's year. You know what? You say
Deshaun
that?
Watson redemption
You say
season.
that wackly, bro, but when Shador takes over, they're actually gonna do some shit. Like that's
They're
it's
not gonna do some shit with Shador. No, they're
It's
not.
gonna be some exciting offense, man. You're writing it off, but Cleveland's gonna do some exciting. It's the same shit with Baker. Everybody was like, Baker fucking sucks. He's not gonna be shit.
No,
blah, blah,
Shador's
blah,
me.
blah, blah.
Shador's.
He
Do
plays
not call
for the
Shador
Browns.
Sanders
The
Baker
Browns are gonna
Mayfield.
ruin it. And to be fair, the Browns did ruin him for a couple seasons, but Baker Mayfield still went from 0-16 within 3 seasons, took his team to a playoffs and won a fucking game. Almost beat the
what
Chiefs.
Shador's not going to do.
It was the backup quarterback Chiefs, but he still almost beat the fucking Chiefs.
You think Shador could almost beat the Chiefs?
This year, yeah.
I don't think. Well,
I think he could flat out beat the Chiefs.
That says more about the Chiefs now.
I think he could flat out beat the Chiefs this year, man. I think that could happen. Here, I like Singleton here. I like Njoku. In fact, we should just take Singleton because I was talking him up earlier.
Yeah, let's do it. He's
I like
got a nice ball
I like
too.
Bixby. I like Flournoy, but he might fall to us on the flip. So
I went ahead and took Singleton, like you said.
I like
that rounds our running back. Yeah, and we got some tight ends.
You know what, man? This is shockingly enough. This is a good range to find a ton of fucking value.
Yes.
Like exciting upside value too, because like Njoku could fucking explode. We don't know what's gonna go on there. Tank Bixby, if Saquon gets hurt, he's exploding. Flournoy, anything goes wrong with Pickens or Lamb, he's gonna be the next guy up. Ayuk, if he's healthy, it's a big if.
Projected aside of the Commanders at least September 1st. That's likely when the Niners will let him go out of his current contract because he screwed them over, so they're going to screw him over. But you're right. Like these 6 picks are all ceiling here.
It's a ton of ceiling.
There's no one in front of Helm as a starter for the Titans.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. So if you're looking for, and this adds on to my video I did solo, Gunnar Helm, late in drafts, you might be wanting to look for him. If there's really no other competition, Tennessee's offense will be pretty good this year.
They've got I need to remember the other tight end, but he's basically just head and shoulders above the rest as far as receiving goes. Hey, do you want Flournoy? We're good at running back.
Yep.
Okay, Tank Dell makes sense here too because we have Stroud, but I'm fine with either. I think Tank Dell in a vacuum, look straight up. I think Tank Dell's going to outscore Flournoy in the week to week if both were healthy. But considering Tank Dell's risk, I don't know if he's going to be healthy. Okay. And then I've got a lot of him. Flournoy to me is so locked in. We talked about Flournoy. He's silver blue in the face.
Yeah.
We were on Flournoy so early too.
I can't even believe that we took him. I can't believe we did that to ourselves.
The whole industry's come on to Flournoy since we started it. We definitely moved that market.
I think we were ahead of the curve on the Ryan Flournoy move, and that's. I mean,
it's straight up word though, dude. We were way ahead on Flournoy.
We're Cowboy fans, right? So we're gonna know about the deep picks, the deep cuts for our team.
We knew the goodness.
That being said, if some of you other niche fandoms can go ahead and give us some of your guys that you think are gonna explode, that'd be fucking dope.
Yeah, put in the comments.
Comment it up, baby.
Seriously, just even one. Other than AI viewers, streamboo.com.
Yeah. Don't give us no obvious. Don't give us no obvious Rico Dowdle might explode for the Steelers. Yeah, okay, whatever, bro. We know that. Give us a deep cut.
Yeah, I want third string receivers.
I want that tight end that is gonna blow up this year. But who were we just talking about for Tennessee?
It bugs me why don't
because nobody's talking about the Tennessee tight end right now. Nobody.
People are talking about Gunnar Helm.
I'm not hearing any noise about him.
Their backup's notable.
But I might not be looking wide enough. That might be my fault.
Yeah, I just listened to a lot of shit.
Yeah, listen, that might be my fault. I might not just be branching out far enough to hear noise about him.
I'm
definitely not looking at any.
This was Dayball's pass catching guy before Theo Johnson in New York. So he followed Dayball to Tennessee. This
Yeah, but he
guy,
wasn't good in New York.
well, that's where I did. So watching some of those Giants games, just get them getting the crap kicked out of them. This guy tend to stand out because the offensive side of the ball was so inept at doing anything. This was the one guy that you could drum up when
He
you're
did
on the
something.
7-yard line to get that touchdown.
he did something. Second and 7,
I'm
he'd
telling
get
you,
you.
he did. He
Yeah.
did something, right? Like,
All right,
he
let's
did.
check out this target share. We got 2 targets, 3 targets, 4 targets. So we're looking at an average of maybe
I'm telling you, it's a bad offense.
1.7 targets a
It's a
game.
bad offense, but check, he still scored
This is
touchdowns.
a horrible offense, man. He does have a little pop ability. I'll give him that. And I do think he's going to a way better situation in Tennessee.
And the coach brought him there as the pass catching guy.
You know what? That might be another deep cut you just gave people, man. We might be looking at Bellinger to be somebody who can win you a championship late in season. Who knows?
I would much rather have all of these 6 guys on my screen before I took Bellinger.
I was just about to say, you know what? How about this Trig character? I've been hearing a lot of noise about how athletic he is, so I feel like Dallas might use him in a bit of like a wide receiver 3 type setups every now and then. Assuming he makes
Ohio State. Who was where did Trig go? He was a big name at Penn State,
Baylor?
Or maybe. Yeah,
it was one of the green teams. It was one of the green teams. It was Baylor or Oregon, but yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Real quick, we're on the clock here, so we need 2 receivers and a tight end. Probably.
I can't believe he fell that far. Shedeur. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care who we take here. I don't love anybody.
If you don't care, all else equal, I'm going to get Wicks because of our Hurts stack.
Okay.
Plus, I love Wicks. He's a monster.
So at this point in time, I typically start scrolling about 4 or 5 screens down, and I just start looking for the guys that I feel like are going to have the most upside this late in the draft.
Yeah.
That being said, there are a lot of guys in this range that I'm just straight up not familiar with. Like, I don't know what to
all these guys.
I don't know what to expect out of Tucker. I don't know what to expect out of Watson or Shedeur because I don't know what Cleveland's going to do. I don't know what to expect out of Ferguson, Connor. I think Coleman's going to have 600 yards receiving.
I think bringing in DJ Moore is kind of a lot still very bearish for Coleman. He's the only one that can assemble the skill set of an outside receiver, which could cut into
catch. He drops too many balls for Josh Allen to target him consistently, especially in big situations.
Doesn't trust him. We have 2 tight ends right now. Our tight end room does have Bowers that we could probably wait, but I think Ferguson makes the most sense. We need another receiver. I like Horton or Bryant.
Yeah, Horton might be all right. I like Seattle's offense.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with
Horton. I was all over this guy as a rookie last year as a receiver out of Colorado. 1,000-yard season there, I think. Then the guy comes in.
Who was his quarterback?
That was Shedeur.
Yeah.
Shedeur supported 3 top receivers in the nation that year.
All right, there you go.
There was of course Travis Hunter and somebody else.
Hey man, somebody had to be slinging them balls, man.
My argument is Shedeur was.
I have seen legitimate star receivers turn to dog shit because the quarterback's not there. It happened with Dez Bryant. Happened last year with Justin Jefferson. Happened. AJ Green happened to him. The only receivers it doesn't happen to are guys like Calvin Johnson, but he never really had to worry about it because he had Iron Man Matthew Stafford running for him.
I am Iron Man.
But I have seen a lot of really, really good receivers go to shit because of bad quarterback play. So that was all to say that there was not bad quarterback play going on in Colorado. Maybe it wasn't quarterback play that you believe in, but
I didn't watch enough of it. Yeah, I think the receivers were outstanding. I think Torrey Horton's pretty awesome. He's not going to be the number 1 on his team. Right, and he's going to contend for number 2 because they just signed Shaheed to a multi-year contract. But JSN's going to eat up all the targets there.
All the time.
Horton's skill set is this like deep backdoor touchdown. He puts himself in really good spots. He's just a solid receiver, man. And on a full PPR site in round 18,
I mean, 19, look at this target share though. I mean, he's got one game where he had 1 target. one game where he had 0 targets, but he's got 4, 3, 2, 1. There's going to be opportunity for him to get some stuff going.
He's got multi-touchdown games. Like Sam
one,
Darnold,
yeah.
it's really easy to find him on the back door. So the whole coverage will just shift to JSN, and then they got to worry about Barner underneath, and then
It's that Terrence Williams syndrome
or something, and they just drop it back there.
It's
I
that
watched
Terrence
it
Williams
a few times
syndrome,
this year, and it
Alvin
was just
Harper
money
syndrome.
every time. And the kid puts himself in good spots. He's just a really solid player and a really solid offense. He should have touchdowns. At this point in the draft, like as an age receiver, he's a steal.
Yeah, why not?
Tight end, we got to figure out what to do here. Hopefully, something like that still around. But if we're on, we're in the absolute dregs of it. Ingram, they drafted a tight end, Justin Jolie, who's a very good pass-catching tight end. Should be some actual competition, and Sean Payton doesn't use a tight end anyway. So I don't think we can take him. Max Clear is the rookie out of Ohio State. He's like the 5th tight end on the roster. Can't take him. Sample should have less competition. I think Gesicki is the only other starter. He should actually see some small amount of volume with a potential for a touchdown every now and then. He's not the worst back here, but I like Matt or Gray better, I think, or this Delp kid.
Give me 1 second. I do like Cole Kmet as an option here, but I do want to take a look.
I think they primarily run 2 tight end sets this year. The Bears do.
Hang on. All right. Here's the thing. Do you believe in Schoonmaker or Spanford as actual viable tight end 2s?
If Ferguson was injured, I think Schoonmaker would put up the exact same stats as Ferguson.
Oh, I don't agree with that at all. But okay. If that's how you feel about him, then we need to stay away from Trig.
Yeah, well, I think Trig could be something, but I think there's a pecking order, and he's just
right. But I don't think the pecking order is that solidified after Jake Ferguson. I think it's Jake Ferguson, and then Spanford and Schoonmaker get about as much work as each other.
Well, I don't know if we need to take a handcuff tight end here, because like I'm saying with Kmet, I think
I'm not talking about taking a handcuff tight end. I'm talking about taking a tight end that could have legitimate upside as tight end number 2 of a prolific offense.
I still think Kmet has a stronger argument for both volume and the same argument for prolific offense.
You think Chicago is going to be as good as Dallas? Straight up?
Saying that out loud, no. But I think that the Bears tight end 2 will get more volume than the Cowboys tight end 2, considering the receiving options on both teams.
I guess that's true. There's a lot of mouths to feed in Dallas, whereas Chicago doesn't have. Well, I mean, they've got players out there, but it's not.
Kmet, I can see 3 catches and a touchdown in his spike week, whereas the Dallas second tight end is going to be 1 touchdown.
Let's do it. You've talked me into it. And if Trig blows up, this is your fucking fault.
I'll take it. If we waited, it didn't really matter. Bowers.
If our Mr. Irrelevant loses us $3 million, I am going to be legitimately upset, but also there's kind of like nothing you can fucking do about that. Like, well, we weren't going to get it.
If we lost because of Dallas' second tight end, it's probably a loss by maybe less than 10 points. And at that point, we're probably banking over 10 G's.
Maybe.
Anyways.
Yeah, so we'd be all right.
If we lost $3 million, yeah, we'd be okay. But still,
I would be a little upset still.
Still. Well,
I'd be
I was pretty bold this draft.
We could have had way more.
There's players I took I just don't like, right? So in full recap, Jalen Hurts.
Who did we take that you don't like?
I'm not that big of a fan of Cardinal Tate this year. Okay, so I look at the prospect and I see this outside receiver who's always played with someone better on the roster, and that's not his fault. And in fact, I've heard the argument framed from the opposite. It's like this dude stood out still, generated decent production, despite playing with the most talented receivers he'll ever play around again. So they don't think he's going to end up on a team that's going to have, fucking Smith, who's like the greatest receiver out of college in the last 20 years, who's playing for Ohio State now. And it's not going to have JSN, who had to compete with, or any of these other Ohio State guys out of the last 4 years. So he's always played with the cream of the crop receivers.
But he's also going to have the best quarterback to throw him the ball that he's ever had throw him the ball.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Cam Ward is miles better than Julian Saint.
Yeah,
and
I can't
whoever
remember
else
the
Ohio
quarterbacks.
State
Before them.
started the year before.
I don't know if I knew Ohio State quarterback since Fields was there. But yeah, regardless.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Tate to me is just an outside receiver, not very fast, doesn't get extreme separation, can catch really well. It's got to be solid, and they drafted him early, so you know the volume's going to be there a little bit. But if you look at the overall situation, Cam Ward to me is good, but his prop's still at 3,400 or whatever. If he excels this year, he'd be lucky to clip 36, 37. And I just don't see the team doing that with Robert Saleh as the head coach. And Dayball's offenses weren't ever lightning. Like he's got the most. Well, I mean, I guess when he was a coach of Josh Allen, a quarterback, like that was a little different. And he has fixed quarterbacks before. I think they're going to get the most out of this receiving game, but I just don't see it being a lot. Also, the competition for targets here with Wandale in the middle. I see Tate. It's not like Tate couldn't outdo Wandale or couldn't be the alpha or whatever. But Calvin Ridley's there as well. I can just see enough of those guys who get like 4 to 5 targets in a team that's only going to throw 28 to 30 something times a game. To not want who's probably going to be another secondary receiver who doesn't get separation the way that you would want like a big bodied receiver to. He's slow too, right? He runs like a 4.52.
Well, big body receivers don't usually generate a ton of separation. Their bag is
making. If he had elite athleticism too to complement it, like an AJ Brown or something, like you wouldn't worry as much. Or if he was that much bigger and taller, but he's also not. So
if you got a big body, you're fine. They're pairing him with a quarterback who makes some of the tightest window throws I've ever seen. So I'm not super worried. As long as he's got the ability to hold on to the football, that's probably what they brought him in for.
Well, put another way, Sutton goes like 20 picks later. I prefer Sutton a shitload more because I think the touchdown differential, the better offense, and just the demand for targets. Even though Sutton's going to be playing on the same team with Waddle, I think Sutton has a way better year than Carnell Tate.
I don't know. I like the matchups better in the AFC South than I do in the AFC West.
And maybe Ward takes a step forward, and like there's all that.
I think Ward's going to take 2 steps
I just don't like
forward.
him at his price because he goes around like Christian Watson, who I'd much rather have. He goes around Rome Odunze, who I'd much rather have. I'd rather take the shot of Mekhi Lemon.
Like really I said, much rather have Rome Odunze over Carnell Tate. I think I'd rather have Rome Odunze, but I don't think I'd much rather have Rome Odunze.
I would so much rather have Rome Odunze. Rome Odunze played half the season and had 100 fantasy points last year, like half PPR points.
Well, I mean, I love him as an option, but that's not to say that I don't think Tate can do something similar this year in his rookie year.
I don't think Tate's ever going to be at a point where he commands 10 targets a game consistently. I think Odunze could.
I just don't think Tennessee's receiving core is that strong. As good as I think Wandale Robinson is, I don't think he's an elite pass catcher. I don't think he's a 10 target a game.
No,
I don't think
Calvin Ridley can get 10
targets a game. I think you draft Carnell Tate where you draft Carnell Tate because you want to give him 8 to 10 targets a game.
They took that's a bull case, right? Like they took him early enough. There's not a whole lot of actual receiver competition targets. People don't really share his skill set beyond Calvin Ridley. And Calvin Ridley's
if he's got better hands than Calvin Ridley, then he's already up on the totem pole. That's the defining factor here. Tennessee's problem last year was they had like the most drops. And there was like a 10-minute compilation of Cam Ward just throwing the most beautiful passes you've ever seen and his receivers just dropping the ball.
He was actually throwing to 3 rookies last year between Gunnar Helm, Chimere Dike, and Elite Manor. And we talked about that passing. I like them a lot for rookies. I thought all of them were going to take a step forward. In the pre-draft best ball stuff, I had a lot of Manor and I had a lot of Chimere Dike because it seemed like they weren't going to bring in anybody. And if they did, this receiving core, the receiving talent they could have brought in was pretty weak. But all in all, they added like – the Wandale was the killer of dreams for me because I knew that was like 7 targets gone right there.
Yeah, it'll be
Wandale
like
and
5 to 6
Dayball
targets
and
a
a
game.
Dayball offense. Wandale's the man.
I'm a huge fan of Wandale this year. I think he's going to do some pretty fun things for Tennessee.
I hope so because I have him everywhere too. Because I had the same thought process with the Giants offense. If they don't have anybody, Neighbors is injured. Wandale's going to get 14 fucking targets a game again.
But I think that's why you bring in Carnell Tate. But I think Tate will complement, or they'll complement each other rather. I know you don't have super high hopes. You've already projected Cam Ward to excel at 3,600.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be closer to 39, maybe even the 4,100 mark.
No way.
I think it's going to happen.
If you believe in Ward at 4,100, you go find a sports book. And I'll give you the money, and you place it back because you're going to get
That's what I'm saying. I think that's the excel mark. I think if he excels, has the best season he can have this year, it's going to look like 4,100 yards. I think he's going to floor out around 38 to 39.
That's a lot of passing yards in the NFL. It's so hard earned. I used to think it was like nothing because you think the good.
Well, it's not like nothing.
Guys.
But if you have guys who can catch the ball in your offense now, as opposed to guys who are going to drop the ball, look, Cam Ward should have eclipsed this mark nasty last season. But dude's literally there's actually a several minute video of his receivers dropping the most beautifully thrown balls you've ever seen, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
And those targets.
It's the same everywhere. You watch a receiver drop a pass, and it frustrates the shit out of you because why can't you catch it?
Those targets are 30, 40 yards downfield and stuff. And we're talking about
a lot of them are about 15 to 20.
500 yards.
15 to 20.
So yeah, and it's stalling out drives too, which prohibits more pass yards. You could easily see if he just played with better people around him, how much he wouldn't even have to develop.
Is what I think they did in this offseason in this draft.
Yeah.
So I like what Tennessee did. I think they addressed a lot of the gaping holes that they had, and they kept the players that they truly believed in. And they're going to take not just one, but probably 2 steps forward. And given that they play in such a weak-ass division, Houston being the only team that's actually worth the real shit out there, they have 4 games a year where they could just beat up on their division rivals. What?
You said you mean on defense, right? Because I think the Jaguars are a pretty good team.
The Jaguars have a really good offense. But, yeah, as far as defense goes, this is all in terms of defensive matchups.
Yeah.
But even then, good offenses on the other end are just going to promote receivers or pass catchers in general.
Yeah.
So I think fantasy-wise, I think we kind of smashed it with Carnell Tate, especially because we got him, at pick 78 or something like that?
He fell past ADP, but Lemon was the one who got the real value on it. I think Tate we took around ADP. Tate we took with I
wish we can see that actually.
Here's our board.
Bring up the board.
6'10". Yeah, pick 70. Yep.
So it's 70. So he fell 8 spots. So
we got good value all over the place.
I think that's what we built our team around this draft was value for a pick. And I am a fan of that.
Value, but also a lot of unknown upside here too, right? We don't know what Love's going to be. Bowers, we're taking a leap of faith on too that he's going to separate that much at tight end to be worth it over the other guys who are going to score, 250 to 300 points.
Taking tight ends this early, I don't do it. I don't like it. I don't love it. I hate it. But Bowers is the guy to do it with if you're going to do it this year. Let's just keep moving on because I get fall in a rabbit hole in all these guys. Just a bigger question about who I'm not that sold on in our team that to me are question marks like everywhere. Jameson Williams, new offensive coordinator. Dan Campbell prioritized him, but it's a tight end heavy guy coming in, which means over the field stuff to me is where it's going to go through, not Jameson Williams. So 4th round, kind of high, right? Especially with dudes like Devontae Adams, double-digit touchdown upside around him. Pretty much this whole row that goes after Jameson Williams, I'd rather have. So that's like a question mark for me. Same comment about Tate. I'd rather have most of these receiving options more than Tate. Lemon unknown, Worthy unknown. Jonathan Brooks, unknown. Kenyon Sadiq, unknown.
We don't know what Keaton Mitchell's role is actually going to be like. He's the third string running back technically today. Singleton, third string running back, right? Unknown. But this late in the draft, like, who cares on the unknown? You're swinging for upside.
It's upside.
All that being said,
Like, you've already
we got
drafted
upside
before.
out the ass. You can play. And sealing blue chip players throughout, right? So Jamar Chase, we know who he is. Jeremiah Love, his role as that number one, like God given, 20 points a game, it's unknown, but he's probably there. We know what Bauer's role is going to be. We know Montgomery's role is going to be. Hurts going back here is just silly at 75. So yeah, we got a lot of like blue chip players here with those upside swings, and this is exactly the team that I don't normally draft, but that's exactly why I love to draft Lugu. They'll get different, a lot different.
I win a lot of leagues, dude.
Now, the one bastion of great unity that we'll always overlap on is this Flanoy guy.
Yeah, he sucks.
I look at having, I think, like 45% in most of my contests post-draft now.
I've drafted him in most drafts, dude. I've believed so much in not just him, but the Cowboys' offense as a whole to just be so successful.
There's just two outcomes where he doesn't succeed, and it's Dak gets injured or he gets injured. That's it. At that price, that's
other
it.
than that,
you're getting third receivers in the Cowboys' offense.
Yeah, and it's not just the third receiver. You're really getting the third passer.
If you're getting how to put it, regardless of who it is in the Cowboys offense, like what exact receiver is there, it could be who caught all this touchdowns. It could be Nick Westbrook Akina or whatever. That third quarterback, that third wide receiver for the Cowboys is always going to have a role, and it's always going to be 3 to 4 touchdowns in that season, and probably at least a few hundred yards to go along with it. But that's not including Flanoy's actual performances last year, which were just sincere step forwards all the way across. He's going to be a smash, man. I really, really, really like Flanoy.
Wait till you get that set up before we add it back.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah, so I was doing that to mine earlier today, too.
I checked my location permissions. It must have gotten disabled.
My Chrome had it on an auto block for some reason.
Yeah, it was my permissions. I got it to work. Okay, we're in, and it looks like it'll start up pretty soon.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
We're in like some 90s hackers, buddy.
We're in there like swimwear.
It's a good pull. That's a Tosh.0 pull, man.
Tosh.0 reference, buddy. Never forget.
I mean, it was like OG internet culture, but yeah, Tosh.0 was the catalyst for a lot of that. Damn, I want to
didn't his show come out when everybody's reaction shows? Like, it came out afterward, didn't it? From all those internet video shows,
there was a show before.
Robin Thicke or something had a show.
There was a show before Tosh did his. Can't remember. There was a big one before Tosh did his. The Web Soup.
Web Soup, dude. That's God damn it! Attack of the Show, that channel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Web Soup was doing what Tosh was doing before Tosh was doing it.
E3 that being said, Olivia Munn, and I don't need to say anything further.
I think Tosh obviously got paid the most, but I think Tosh did do a really good job of putting together his jokes, and his comedic delivery was a lot better than some of the Joe Schmoes on the other shows.
Oh, he did it. He did that sort of video reaction show way better than anybody else. For sure.
Plus, he was just working with more funding than anybody else had because Comedy Central was backing it.
Yeah, true.
So it was just a lot more to run with. I one of the underrated running gags that he did, I mean, it was prominent because it was featured in every show, was his season-long wardrobe choice.
Of DVs?
Yeah, season of DVs. Yeah, it was a season of cardigans, season of this, season of that.
end of the deep V season, he was basically in the Borat bikini. That's how deep the V went.
I actually think I'm gonna start switching to some deep V's,
To
but
the
like
Borat bikinis.
deeper V's. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Leave very little to the imagination.
Whoa.
Deep V's, son. That's the way to go.
Dude, this is a family program.
No, it's not made for kids. YouTube even asked me. YouTube asked me before every upload.
I said this could be enjoyed by the family during a nice trip to Maine,
fuck that.
or a nice road trip to
a nice trek to Maine.
or New Hampshire. Or the greater New England area, dude.
Perhaps a train ride out to the countryside.
In Maine.
Anywhere. All right, so I like Amon-Ra, I like James Cook, G&T, Achane.
I like anyone but McCaffrey.
I pretty much don't like McCaffrey. Yeah, I pretty much don't like McCaffrey. We should go. We should go Amon-Ra because we have literally no Amon-Ra in any of our collective drafts.
Okay. I was gonna say for the same reason, do you just want to go McCaffrey? But no, let's go Amon-Ra.
We could have got James Cook because we don't go a lot of James Cook. But
yeah, well, if I don't feel like we're avoiding him. I think we just prioritize CD.
We just don't get him. We just don't get him because we get like pick 8 and 12 or 8 and 17 is here, so it's like 9 and 15 sometimes.
Yeah,
James Cook goes in that middle spot pretty much every single time. I'm not taking him in the first round, but I will take him with my second pick.
I like him in the first round just fine. I think he's as strong of a candidate.
I think in a 12-team league like we're in right now. Yeah.
Also, that Week 17 matchup. Now, my operating thesis for the season is that these Dolphins will not be trying very hard by Week 17.
But is Buffalo going to be playing the starters in Week 17? It's very possible.
That's what I mean.
They've locked up.
Well, that's what I mean is that how incentivized are the Bills going to be to run out James Cook 25 times in a game that the Dolphins don't play the starters all the way through? They're not going to do that, right? It's more likely that we need to start taking shares of Ray Davis at the end of the draft. Pick 200 or so, 6 running back Ray Davis could have 1 to 2 touchdowns that game against the Dolphins. That's how I look at it. I think it's going to be a terrible defense. The backup running back's actually going to be the guy you need that week in particular. So I like James Cook just fine. He'll be worthy of the pick where he goes throughout the year. But just Week 17 alone, yeah, I don't like Achane because of that. I also shy away from James Cook too for the same reason. He's slightly less.
I don't know. It's equally possible that Buffalo is resting starters Week 17 as it is that they're trying their goddamn hardest to get a 1 seed so they can finally not have to go to Kansas City or go to New England or go to any of these other bullshit places. They could just sit at home all day.
Or Cook rips off 2 40-yard runs in the first half.
Yeah.
And he's already there by halftime.
There's no reason to shy away from Cook.
Just variance alone, never. Yeah, I'm not taking any less of the guy.
Okay. Here, if Kenny Walker falls to us, I like him. I like Hampton. I like Chase Brown. I like Derrick Henry. Any of the running backs here. This is all good range.
I've recently shifted my order in this range. I would take Kenneth Walker first, but now I actually have Derrick Henry even above Walker in some respects.
All right,
because that Week 17.
Because if Lamar comes back healthy, Derrick Henry is going to have a fucking season.
Yeah, he is. But
all 3 running backs in this range, I like all 3 of them.
Walker or Henry straight up. I think we go Walker just because we'll have fewer chances to get him. He goes earlier.
Yeah, let's go Walker.
Okay, and then we'll have plenty of chance to get Henry because we don't like these tight ends that much. So we'll probably get
tight ends early, man. I mean, I get it. I truly get it. If there's a Gronkowski on the board or a T. Kelce in his prime, I understand. Or Jimmy Graham, those few seasons that he was doing it all crazy. Because you're getting wide receiver 1 value at the tight end spot. Plus, you're going to get decent value for your low-end wide receiver 1s and your high-end wide receiver 2s. You can get away with drafting your tight end early. But Fuck me. This year, I just think there's so much more value around this pick. Like, look, Brock Bowers got picked before George Pickens, Jeremiah Love, Nico Collins, and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that seems pretty
That's so
silly
dumb to me.
with a Kirk Cousins and a Fernando Mendoza team.
So dumb. Look,
Yeah.
Mendoza's got a lot of upside. That's probably why people are buying so hard on Bowers. But it's Derrick Henry, George Pickens, Jeremiah Love, and Nico Collins, all who are going to have absolutely solidified production from a not shit ass offense or
Yeah.
from what was a shit ass offense last year.
Love still plays
Should take
for
several
shit.
steps forward this year from the quarterback play alone, though.
Yeah.
But
I'd much rather have Henry or Pickens. I think right about the Kyron line with this group of
Why
players
is
is where
Pickens
I would
falling so
start.
far? What is this?
What's that?
Why is Derrick Henry and Pickens falling this far? What's going on here?
We're drafting at 3. Oh, this is why I love drafting 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in general because people do silly shit.
People are dumb.
And then
this is absurd.
Add that to a weekend. Because now it's a weekend.
Oh, people are probably doing.
And then it's the beginning of a 4-day weekend.
Weekend. Wait, why is it a 4-day
weekend?
Am I stupid? What's going on Monday?
No, it's Memorial Day's on Monday. Sorry, 3-day weekend. But so people are even drunker tonight.
That's dumb.
Yeah, so we're going to get lots of value. I drafted a playoff basketball team once that had a Saquon and Jalen Hurts.
In this range, too, I love all the running backs. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we have pick and 2 picks.
Yeah.
In this range, too, all the running backs, all of them. I love all of them.
I like Love the best. Jacobs follows, and then that's hard. All these guys are toss-ups. I'd like Breece the least out of this group.
They're all RB2s is the thing. They're all going to have very solid RB2 production. Jeremiah Love has RB1 upside just because
we got to take him if he falls down here. It's too rare of a player combo.
Take him.
Yeah.
And then if we get Smitty on the turn, we should fucking take him too. But Igbuka might be sitting there for us.
This group of players can't be drafted together anymore, and it could only be drafted when Kenneth Walker was going in the 3rd round and pre-best ball stuff, or pre-draft stuff.
So I'm surprised Jeremiah Love fell as far as he did too, because he's going in the 2nd round in most drafts I'm taking.
That's crazy. Yeah, he shouldn't have fallen that far.
But if Igbuka falls to us on the turn, I like him the most out of this range. T. Higgins is a great pickup, though.
You know, I don't have a lot of Igbuka. Do you like him more than the other receivers? You're just trying to get more of him.
Well, both, but I like Igbuka a lot for the same reasons that you liked Romo Dunze. Like, he played half a season and had a ridiculous production, and then he came back after an injury. But not only was he hurt, but Baker was also hurt, and he still played really well.
Igbuka, I had everywhere last year. I was all over him as a rookie. This year, despite Evans leaving, it just feels like, I guess it's because they got the rug pulled with it when he got hurt halfway through last season.
Well, Baker got hurt too. It wasn't just Igbuka who got hurt. Baker got hurt too. And then the offensive line got hurt. The whole offensive line got hurt. And then Mike Evans got hurt.
Feels so fragile, and because all these injuries, but they seem to have these crippling injuries every year to their best players. And Baker, I know, is going to get hurt this year too for some reason.
It's just the way he plays. It's because he's willing to go downfield and lead block, and when he runs the ball, he lowers his shoulder into everybody. And I'm with it. I love it because it excites the crowd. But you are going to get hurt a lot doing that kind of stuff.
Shaking off the injury paranoia and just evaluating the spot and the players around him and stuff. Yeah, you could see a guy he's very shifty in the red zone area. 30, 40 yards downfield, 15 to 10 or 20 yards downfield. He pulls these moves on the cornerback's last second, adjusts his body, and he's got enough separation for a touchdown. It's awesome to watch him play. I think he's a very good player. He's playing against guys –
in this range. This range is what it is, because there aren't receivers in this range that you're going to get who have the upside that Igbuka does have.
See, I strongly disagree with that. I think McMillan, DJ Moore and Adams can all at least have more touchdowns in him. McMillan can have more volume easily.
Yeah, but that's not the same as saying that they're going to have more points at the end of the season.
I think McMillan, if both were healthy, would have more.
Check this out. Apparently, the people in our draft agree with me because they took him first. Devontae Adams or Cam Skattebo.
All right, let's get some Scatterboo. I just want to run through a wall when we draft. We got 3 running backs. Let's do it.
Dude, I love a running back heavy draft.
People in
we can get a lot of
people in
receivers late. Like receivers in the middle are going to be fantastic. We'll be all right.
people in the best ball streets call this type of running back room a high T room, a high testosterone room.
A high
T, baby. We're about to eat some Slim Jims and put on some White Snake and do some.
I've heard Cam Scatterboo described as a crayon eater.
Yeah, he eats crayons specifically, not crayons. He eats crayons.
Crayons. Krann. He's a crayon eater.
The flavor of crayons.
Yeah, he's a crayon eater, and I love it. I need more crayon eaters.
He also doesn't believe that CTE is real.
Him and Puka pissed me off so much.
No, I think he said that as a joke.
So going back to the interview, yeah, but given that he plays the way that he plays, he can't say stuff like that, even satirically, because people are going to be like, he's got it already. And
do you think Gronkowski is as dumb as he acts like he is? I don't think he is.
I've watched a few episodes of the Gronk and Edelman podcast, and the thoughts that he puts together on that show let me know that he's acting quite a bit for the cameras.
Yeah. Okay. He's just playing the big dumb guy, right? Like that's what he's known as.
Well, he's Big Gronk, but
yeah,
he's not. I mean, like I said, maybe it's just translating it into football lingo, and he's so good at that he actually sounds extremely smart on the podcast, or he's just acting the part.
Yeah, I think he's acting.
I'm leaning more towards acting the part because he is a pretty successful human being, and he hasn't he doesn't really seem like an idiot. He just seems like a dude who likes to have a good time.
He did say he is the one who said Emeka Egbigbue on
Egbigbue?
Yeah, that's how he pronounced his name when he was a rookie on draft night.
All right. Well, people that tried to pronounce Giannis Antetokounmpo's name the first year he was a big star was such a travesty that they had to resort to calling him a fucking Greek freak because they couldn't pronounce his last name. So
Giannis Egbigbue.
Giannis Egbigbue. Here's the thing. This has been going on for a while. It happened with Wembanyama too. People just don't know how to say these names that aren't Smith or Walker or Johnson or Irving
or Egbigbue. Do you want? We're on the clock again. Do you want to go McLaurin?
We should go another running back and get Jadarian Price.
Oh, let's do it. We're
hoarding the running backs. I love it. We're hoarding the running backs.
And you know what? I don't even dislike the strategy this year because the running backs don't look the same at all past the Ramondre Stevenson line.
So that's the thing.
And the receivers all look the same past this Christian Watson line. They're all the same, 150 to maybe 200 points in the year, but really 150. Metcalf is probably going to get that. Thomas is almost really not going to score that many fantasy points.
I like the upside of Thomas, but I don't think he's got a very good floor. But yeah, I do agree with you that once you get past round 5, all the receivers start to look pretty identical as far as what their end of season turnout's going to be.
Yeah, and it stays that way too, right? I think Jaden Reed, Addison to some extent, though I know you don't like Kyler, so not as convincing. But Myers, all these receiver 2, receiver 3s are 70-80% of everyone else here. These are really the last 2 receivers that have any sort of floor ceiling combo, McLaurin and Watson.
Right. Yeah.
The rest of these guys all have question marks.
The whole way.
Yeah. But that's good because it's all flat, and if it's all flat, then maybe
if there's another really good running back available at 65, we should take him again.
Oh, who we got?
I don't know. Check the running back tab.
It's going to be Chuba at this point. Yeah, Chuba.
Yeah, he's doing that. Well, I wouldn't hate Tony Pollard, but because I do believe in
Singleton, we'll go one more. We'll go with one receiver, and then we'll dip back to running back.
Go receiver. Go receiver. We don't need to go running back again.
If Watson's still here, easy Watson for me.
Easy.
Past that though.
Washington.
Yeah, okay. I like Parker Washington more than I like these other guys, though.
I think Harrison could have a
Good,
decent season, but because
good.
we're going to take a little while to get to Carson Beck, I don't
Yep.
know what it's really going to look like.
Yeah, and what does it look like when it is Carson back? And now that Week 17 matchup against the Raiders secondary, sign me up. What's he going to do with that on the same team as McBride? And then after Michael Wilson's breakout year last year, I don't know. I don't think Harrison's going to give us like 25 points that game. Parker Washington, though, like all the bowl reports, people really, really like this guy. There's
Yeah.
bear reports out there too. Like you can see him having a fluke year last year, especially on a team where they brought in like a quote unquote legit volume hog with Jacoby Myers and signing him to the extension. They
I'm a
still have
fan
Brian
of Jacoby
Thomas, who's like
Myers.
the touchdown, big body outside guy. Parker Washington, though, he's just excelled. He's just like Alec Pierce last year. Actually, these two guys had a pretty similar moonshot year last year. Of course, we talked them up too much. Okay, so who do you like from here the most? I think for me, it's Tyson and Pierce.
Those are the
We
two
can
I
go
like.
Pate again. I don't mind.
You know what? I do like Tyson because the New Orleans pass catching situation outside of Olave, and Olave is going to probably get hurt this year. Yeah, we should go Tyson.
Yeah, all right, I got him queued.
I mean, we've got Olave and a lot of other players. So I do believe in him to have a good season. Again, if you're drafting a guy, you believe he's going to play all 17. But if you're drafting the guy who's below him, you believe the guy above him is going to get hurt. So
Yeah.
Olave is probably going to get hurt this year at some point in time.
Yeah, and they play in a terrible division, and the Saints.
It's an awful division defensively. I think the offenses can keep up. Atlanta and Tampa Bay are putting together some really good stuff. In particular. So I do think that the South could have some competitiveness this year. Probably everybody finishes around 500 again, though.
I just had a massive thunderstorm roll in, so if I lose power at any point, that's what happened. But we'll keep this going. I'll finish the team from my phone if it does. So we'll see. This next hour and a half is supposed to be really bad around here. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's review this team so far. So we are running back dominant here. Kenneth Walker, Jeremiah Love, St. Brown, Tyson, Scattaboo, and Price. I love all of these guys. Week 17 matchups. The Chiefs have the Chargers. Even though the Chargers defense tends to be pretty stout, they were kind of a run sieve last year, where teams were getting like 200 yards on them in certain games.
They were bad in the run game.
Walker, of course, is probably baked into 15 points as a floor, full PPR any given week this coming season. So love him regardless. Speaking of love, Jeremiah Love, those Raiders week 17. This is going to be awesome to watch, man. In a game that the Raiders won't give a shit about, in a game that the Cardinals won't give a shit about. Hopefully they just let the rookie just run. Could be Tyler Algier season, though. Maybe we need to pick him up after all. St. Brown has the Bears week 17. That's in Chicago. So unfortunately, Jared Goff outdoors on the road. Not a good thing to see week 17 of your season, but St. Brown's going to be the man he always is. And it's a very high floor with all the ceiling in the world. Tyson's matchup this year for the Saints. Really play the Falcons. Could be wrong about that.
The Saints do play the Falcons, but I don't know if it's week 17.
So let's find out.
Let's get back to the
Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, let's get back to the player tab real quick. We're coming up in about 4 picks. And
Price against the Falcons is going to smash. We have Jadarian Price against the Panthers who's going to smash. And then, of course, Scattaboo against the Cowboys. Sorry-ass run defense. Maybe Q Williams will have something else to say about that. But
I was just about to say the Dallas run defense, don't sleep on it this year. I think it's going to go from 32 to around 18.
Or that's still okay for Scattaboo. He'll catch a few passes.
I mean, if he's even playing in week 17. But like I said, if you draft the guy, you believe he's going to play all 17. So fuck it. We're going to run him.
Who do you want to go here? Quarterback, we got Lawrence.
You know what? I'd like to get Lawrence because we do have some receiver stock from Jacksonville, and we don't have a lot of Trevor Lawrence going in any of our drafts.
We don't have any Jacksonville receivers.
Well, I thought we just picked the Jacksonville receiver.
We didn't get Washington. We got Tyson instead. Washington got sniped.
Oh, he got scooped.
I'm so good with the Lawrence pick, though, because he does rush touchdowns. So even if we didn't pick up another
There's
Jaguar,
standalone value for him. A lot of standalone value.
There's late stacking partners out the ass. You got Brendan Strange at tight end. Jacoby Myers is going to be probably 2 rounds from now.
I was going to say Jacoby Myers will be there at some point in time a little later, so we can go ahead and try
Hunter, round 15. Absolutely, you can take him. And then they've got Chris Rodriguez, too. Their secondary back, who I think is going to have 8 to 10 touchdowns this year.
Maybe.
6 to 8 more conservatively, but I think he's going to be the goal line back.
6 is a lot, though.
He got 8 last year for the Commanders on a worse offense in a worse situation, and now he's going into a coach who he played with in college. Liam Cohen sought him out, and he's pretty good running back in better situation. So I think it's the same thing. He's a bigger body than Bashal Tuten. Tuten did handle some of the goal line stuff last year, so it's not like Tuten's not capable, but I can see the team being in a scoring position a lot. I like Chris Rodriguez where he's going. Right after that, like Blake Corum, high-end profile handcuff range, because to me, like Jordan Mason, Rodriguez, Corum, they're all that quality. Well, Mason's actually like a tier above, I think, in my head. Not for the situation, but because he's just going to be the starter. Whereas Jones is more the pass catching back and stuff. But just from a volume perspective, yeah, Corum is going to be on the field like 40% of the time with some goal line work and contingency value. And I think it's the same thing for Rodriguez.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Backfield is just so
I think Godwin or Reed makes the most sense here. Godwin especially, I think.
I like Godwin. And I like Reed a lot, too. Let's go Godwin. I think he could have a really big bounce back year. And I do believe in Egbuka to have a good season, which means that his counterpart is probably going to have a pretty good one.
We do have Egbuka, right? Or no, it's a different team. That was our last team.
Yeah, it's a different team. But yeah.
We like Tampa.
But we talked about Egbuka earlier, but they snaked him right before our pick.
Yeah, all good. If Godwin stays healthy, he's a 3rd-round player, fantasy-wise.
Easy.
It's just if he's healthy.
I mean, look at this. He's got a few games where he's still commanding 8 to 10 targets a game, over 5, over 4, pretty much every time he's healthy.
Yeah.
Except for this one where he's got 1 target in the Carolina game, but it was week 18.
I don't think they played that hard that game.
The final score was 16-14. So safe to say there wasn't a lot of opportunity for anybody to get any production.
That was a crazy game, if I remember it. That was a playoff game.
It was for the division.
Get in.
It was for the division for Carolina. Like Carolina had to win that game. Tampa Bay, if they won it, I think they needed Atlanta to win as well.
Wasn't there bad weather too, or like a lot of rain or something?
Can't remember.
Me neither. It was on a weird day. I was over at Mom's. I was trying to watch the game, but I couldn't.
It's a busy time.
We were watching like a Christmas movie or something.
It's a busy time at Mom's. We don't usually get the TV for games except for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And I just had to keep up with the score on my phone or something. But I remember that game severely disappointing, but the reason why is because the Tampa Bay secondary was all injured. I really thought the game was going to explode.
You chalked it up to be a high-powered offensive game. Yeah,
it should have been. It should by all rights, because the Bucks were getting torched when Danielle Hunter got injured. That was really it for their defense. That would happen at the end of last season, and they were already on fumes at that point. He was the last linchpin holding together like the jalopy on the way to California, escaping from the Dust Bowl. Just truly disgusting offense or defense last year. The secondary, and then it broke and
ends real quick.
And then Bryce Young still couldn't get it done. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, there's probably some rain or something because.
Players tab. Yeah. Let's check out these tight ends real quick. I like Jacoby Myers if we don't have any of the guys that we like. Like, I don't want George Kittle this early.
Yeah, we can wait on tight ends.
Or Kelsey or Goddard are likely. Yeah. Let's check out everything else.
Pittman stands out to me. Oh, I like Pearsall the best ceiling wise. I think Downs has all the volume that anybody in this range will get, plus some ceiling, worthy ceiling, not as much volume.
Yeah, I'm not in love with any of these guys. Pittman definitely has a good opportunity in Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers coming back.
How about we go Pearsall? I feel the strongest about him. I think the least competition at receiver.
Man, there is not going to be a single human being in San Francisco that stays healthy this season. I don't want a single part of that team. I like QB2 here with Jared Goff.
I think we have a good argument for. Oh yeah, let's get Goff because of the stack with St. Brown. I was gonna say
I think there are going to be several weeks this year where Jared Goff straight up outplays Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Goff does this. Goff has his ceilings, and they're just not playing. They're not playing in domes as much as they did last year. So I think
they're going to play in the dome eight times this season. Yeah, they're going to play in the dome 8 games this season this year.
Last year, I think they legit got like 13 or 14 dome games.
Oh well, yeah. Just how the away schedule worked out. I don't know. We'll see how
this year. This year was much less. It's like 10 or something, and it really worries me. Like I don't say it without reason. Like Goff splits outside on the road.
He's an indoor quarterback.
Yeah, it's just night and day, man.
I mean, he went to the Super Bowl in fucking LA too, but it was pretty much indoors the whole way down. Like he's definitely an indoor quarterback. And I get people wanting the purity of the game and the weather and all that, but I do think I'm really just tired of professional sports being affected by weather. Like I want to watch the best athletes go out and be the best athletes. I don't want to watch them fight the fucking elements.
I got some thoughts on that, but let's get our pick in. Do you want to go Kelsey or Goddard here, or do you want to get another receiver with Pittman, Downs? I really think there's a good case for all these.
I like Coker and Downs a lot. Worthy I like as a bit of a flyer, but there's actual value we can be getting at this range.
I would take Downs here from those options.
Yeah, if you like Downs the most, I like Downs too.
Because I think he plays in two receiver sets for the Colts. In other words, I think he's on the field all the time. They don't really have his skill set. Pierce is going to be this like deep shot, big outside receiver kind of guy.
I also just don't really believe in Pierce all that much. I think Pittman was the really only like wide receiver in that offense, and with him departing, I think it's pretty wide open for whoever to take over the lead role.
Tyler Warren's there too, right? So he's going to grab some.
He'll probably be the most prominent pass catcher on the team, yeah.
Yeah, Taylor doesn't catch so many passes out of the backfield. But to your point about most prominent pass catcher, dude, that's what I think we just got. I think we just got our 8 target guy. I think I
like Downs a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I think both he and his brother are going to have some phenomenal seasons, being elevated by each other's play. They seem like they're that kind of sibling relationship. Whereas they don't.
Who else do the Colts even have?
They're both good. I don't know, man. There's a ton of value left at receiver. There's guys like Malachi Fields, Ryan Flournoy. There's
Deion Burks. Yeah. This guy's like a big rookie name right now. He's someone you take the very last pick of your draft. Oh, Heidenreich's here too. Same sort of player, just really explosive. Could make something happen at receiver. Actually, Matt Harmon from Reception Perception. I mentioned his name before. He's a guy you should trust with his receiver analysis. And Deion Burks was the name that he came up with for like sleepers and stuff. Could be fun. Maybe take a share or two here and there. But yeah, I think Josh Downs is going to be a baller this year, especially where he goes. And especially for this team where we need like some safe volume, but still have that ceiling combo. That's really everyone but St. Brown. Tyson, Godwin,
St. Brown's pretty much all ceiling. His ceiling is the floor. Or his floor is the ceiling, rather. That dude is going to have
It's really unfortunate. So unfortunately, St. Brown's just tied to golf, which is really unfortunate for him and our team by extension.
Dude, I mean, 10 dome games a year is plenty fine for me. He's definitely playing 8 of them at home, and that's plenty of opportunity for Pop. And in a format like best ball, that's really what we need. Because we've got plenty of floor on the team. Plenty.
I think real life is, I guess, where my worry is coming from for golf. Someone I was listening to, I think Davis Maddock, maybe he was like, Do you think Dan Campbell ever wakes up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night and just realizes that golf is not the guy? He just
He's already
wakes up.
played in the Super Bowl and an NFC Championship game, which is more than most quarterbacks in the NFL can say. It's more than Lamar can say.
Hey, if
More
Darnold
than
can do it, anybody can do it.
we're not going to disrespect Sam Darnold on this stream.
Oh, sorry, you're right. If Peyton Manning, the 2015
If
year,
the last iteration, if Peyton Manning can do it, then anyone can do
anybody
it.
could do it.
Okay, here's the thing. That was, if not the best defense ever assembled, top 2, top 3.
Yeah, that
was an absurdly
and
good
we're good
defense.
with Goddard here, right? We had no tight ends. He's going to get all the ceiling and volume. Yeah.
Yeah, Goddard would be cool.
Yeah. I love Goddard this year. I can't stop taking him. Absolute.
That's why Dad named you Go Dirt. That's why Dad named you Go Dirt. That's why Dad named you Go Dirt. Instead, none maker.
Instead of Eli Stowers.
Instead of Schoonmaker.
Instead of Schoonmaker.
I've never thought to look at his name as Go Dirt until right now.
Go Dirt. That's a yummy, delicious Go Dirt.
G-E-R-T. Dirt.
Did you know that they make Go Dirt in squeezable tubes now?
Did you know that Go Dirt is just yogurt?
Can Dallas Go-Gurt?
Go Dirt.
What if his name was like Cleveland Goddard instead of Dallas Goddard?
Well, then he'd be from Detroit.
He'd be from Detroit.
I'm glad you got that reference.
Yeah, of course. That's why I said Cleveland afterward.
He'd be from Detroit. And then there was Tex. I don't remember where Tex come from.
Go ahead, Dallas. Prove your Fort Worth.
There was Dallas. He was from Cleveland.
He was from Cleveland. There was...
What a really dumb string of jokes. Like, he reeled off 3 of them back to back to back. Just all stupid. Just a dumb string of jokes. It's a little geography joke.
Like very peculiar humor at a moment you don't expect it. And then it's
no, they were literally hiding from Viet Cong snipers. Like,
but I mean, it's meant to follow that line about some of America's best young men are in that war, and then they give us a list of American cities.
Anybody in this range except for the Charbs.
Okay. Let me Darnold, Hugh. Let's just grab. We took Downs. I'm gonna queue up Daniel Jones here.
I shouldn't have said anybody.
Get our third quarterback. We're done at quarterback. The options here aren't great. I do like Tyron Tracy the more the offseason goes on because they also didn't add anybody in the backfield.
Right.
They just have injured Scatabo, and Scatabo might be back for the start of the season and stuff, but he's at least half the workload again, and that was a pretty good size. That was pretty good production for Tracy last year. With Scatabo off. Like I said, they didn't add anybody, so that I think they still have Singletary back there, who might work in. But Tracy's fine value right here, pick 140-ish. Absolutely better than the running backs going around him. Charbonnet got his ACL tear in November of last year, so who knows when he'll be back.
I'm scared of taking Charbonnet. I think,
or like January of last year, so he won't be back till November. Like week 8, I think is where most people have him. But these other running backs here, dude, like Pacheco, gross. Woody Marks, gross. Algier, good goal line back, we're thinking, but who knows?
No, you're thinking. I don't like anything about Algier this year because I think the Arizona offense is going to move through Jeremiah Love or it's not going to move at all.
Yeah, so basically in that range, Tracy to me is like the last bastion of production until it's all handcuff contingency. Then you need injuries for everyone else after this point to succeed. Like Algier, Mitchell, Spears. Well, Mitchell can make his own luck, but we're still talking about like 12 points a game as a ceiling when he breaks off his 160-yard run on his 5 carries that he gets.
Yeah.
Like not much. Great for this point of
That's
the
if it
draft,
gets to a touchdown too.
but God, I hate these other running backs around him. Back on the
No,
all
yeah.
players tab.
I don't like running backs late in the draft, which is actually why I'm okay with us hoarding running backs at the start of the draft.
I love it. This is a way to draft this year. This is the comfortable way to draft this year. Not necessarily the winning way, but the most comfortable for sure.
This was an absurd draft strategy. I'm going to be honest, man. Going
It's
4 running
working,
backs,
dude.
1 receiver in a full PPR is especially when 2 of them are one of them's an unknown commodity and the other one's an injury prone cran eater.
Let's see how it does, because I think we got volume and ceiling for our other receiver options. I think we'll lock that in. Now we can see there's a little more here. I was hoping Juwan Jennings fell. He did not. Second tight end sounds good to me with either Strange for the stack, Juwan Johnson, or Hunter Henry. All these stand out.
I don't know. I'd like to get some exposure to Sadiq just to see if he's actually going to be all of that.
Yeah, we'll run back to back. We'll run back to back Sadiq.
Yeah,
I hate him as a pick.
A little more exposure. I don't know. His ADP is 142. We're getting them at 150 on average, so we're fine. We're getting value for our spot.
I just can't see how he pans out. Like, for the life of me, I can't see how he pans out. I can't see on the team with Garrett Wilson. He's not going to be the number 1 receiver. Is he going to be the number 2? No, Omar Cooper Jr. This guy won the first round, right? Or Sadiq went.
He's going to have Geno Smith throwing him the football and a bad offensive line. They're going to have to throw to the tight end.
They just took another tight end like early last year too, Mason Taylor. So they're going to run 2 tight end sets probably.
Mason Taylor is my point.
I know who Mason Taylor is, but that's because I'm sick and I play this a lot. That's not the point.
I play a lot of fantasy football too. I guarantee that guy didn't do shit last year.
I think he had a couple touchdowns.
Kenyon Sadiq might.
I just don't like him, man. I don't like it. The Jets.
Well, the offense as a whole is probably going to take at least one step forward, moving to Geno from Zach.
Well, don't you just want Hunter Henry's like 6 to 10 touchdowns?
I don't want
anything to do with
like
4 to 5 catches a buck.
I think New England's going to take 2 steps back this year. I think they're in for a huge regression.
I don't see a huge regression. I think you're right that they're going to play a much harder schedule.
7 wins.
They totally regressed. Back to the Stone Age with Drake May.
They're going to go they're going to cut their win total in half in one season.
What they win last year? 14 games.
14. Yeah, they're going to win 7 fucking. They're going to win 7 fucking games this year. That's a bad take. They're not going to win 7 games. They'll probably win like 10.
Their over-unders, I think, 9.5 from Vegas. So I might be wrong about that. But if you got to lean on the 7, dude, go on Kelsey now.
I think they're in for a huge regression is what I think they're in for.
We're good at quarterbacks, so we don't have to worry about Rodgers here. Running back, we can grab a 5th wins.
The only way to regress is 10. I don't know. This range, we don't really need a whole lot. Maybe another tight end.
I like Trey Tucker as he's a number 1 receiver for the Raiders. They didn't add anybody here except for Naylor. Of course, got Brock Bowers to do it. So I'm okay with Tucker or Spears.
Yeah, either one. I think Spears might be a little bit in for a little bit more, but
I got Spears.
Okay. I mean, it's probably just at the end of the drafts, you want to look for running backs too that are going to be involved in pass game a little bit, maybe a third down back here and there.
I think we could have waited for this team specifically. Probably could have waited because we were so heavy running back earlier. Maybe another receiver that made sense, especially someone like Tucker who offers. I
didn't like the receivers in that range when we can wait on guys.
Nobody's good, right? Nobody's
good. Let me see this receiver range real quick.
Yeah, it sucks. Tucker's the only name that stands out here.
Scroll down. Because we're not picking for a little while.
We're even out of this range, dude.
That's what I'm saying. We're not picking for a little while. We're not picking till like
if you want to look at who's going to be available later.
So this is where the value starts to come in. There's Calvin Ridley sitting right there. If Ayuk's healthy, he's there. Tank Dell, Ryan Flournoy. I don't like Bernard all that much. Jerry Jeudy, I think, could have a season if Shador's the quarterback out there. The receiver room that we were looking at was disgusting. But in the 170s and 180s, it gets a lot better because the price is a lot better.
I like the values of receiver later much better than I do the running backs. The running backs you take later all
Which
contingency.
is why
So
if you see a running back that you like on the board and you've got to pick up, I think you just got to take the running back you like on the board, regardless of whether or not your team needs a receiver, tight end, quarterback, this or that, blah blah blah. Running backs.
I can see everyone adopting that. So what happened 3 years ago in best ball? I think it's 3 years ago now. That was the year that all of the main running backs got hurt. That was the Saquon injury year. Derrick Henry got injured that year. Taylor, I think, got injured. Like all of the main guys, all the main guys at the top got hurt. And what that let the market do was anybody, because it had been dominated by running backs. Like we're starting to see like circles in the main best ball tournaments have been around long enough where we can start seeing trends in how people think like from year to year. And we had a massive running back injury year. Lo and behold, the very next year was the first year I started playing heavily, and it was the whole thesis was 0 RB or 1 RB at the top. You draft one running back early, and then because running backs get hurt, so the handcuffs are much more valuable, and you can get all those points late in the season. Well, then I signed up for best ball at a time when that was my prevailing thought going into the next 2 years, which was the exact fucking
running back heaven. Yeah.
It was totally you want to be a boomer. You want your hand in the dirt. You're drafting like 5 running backs straight away, and that's who's gonna win you all the money. Is Derrick Henry at age 39 or whatever he is now. He's not that old.
I understand. I think he's 30. But I understand.
Real quick, wide receiver, you want to go ahead and get Ridley here?
What's that?
You want to go ahead and get Ridley here? I think we're good at every other position so far.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Okay, we can probably get Flanoy at 185. We'll see. I dislike all these other options. Boston's a big-bodied rookie out of Washington. He's going to be playing on the outside. I don't think he's going to get a lot done in the Cleveland passing offense. He won't even be the third leading target on the team, especially if they insist on keeping Judy on the outside, which is just a mistake because every good season he's had has been as a slot.
I was going to say, I feel like Judy would be a little bit better suited to the slot, but Cleveland, we've already figured out, has no idea what to do.
Which is why he kind of sucked last. Well, one of the reasons he kind of sucked last year. So
I mean, there's just super inconsistent quarterback play, but
yeah. So here, I think Flanoy, I'll just go ahead and auto queue. Every one of our teams this summer, I'm fine if we just have Flanoy in there. But besides him, if we weren't, Tank Dell makes a lot of sense.
I like Tank Dell a lot. I like Kiki Bootsy a little bit, not a lot. I like Njoku to maybe do something.
I like Njoku. You want to get a third tight end here instead of a receiver? I think we could still use more help at receiver. Our tight ends are pretty good between Goddard and, well, I guess not.
Well, yeah, I know you don't like Sadiq that much. So
I'm okay with Njoku for us. Yeah, I'm okay with Njoku here. I think we saw Flanoy queued up, though. You have a lean either way if you want to get one more share of Flanoy or if you want to go Njoku and then just or Flanoy.
Hey man, I got no problem with any of them. I would even look at if we weren't so sold on Flanoy as a prospect, I would even look at Cade Otton in this range.
Okay. Do you like Otton better than they just decided for us. Do you like Otton better than Flanoy?
No, I like Flanoy better than Otton.
Do you want to get Otton to round out our tight ends for this team or?
I like Flanoy better than I like Otton, but Otton's the better value for the pick, I guess, at this point in time.
And for our team, because I think we can dig up another. I don't know if we can replace Flanoy this late in the draft, but I don't think. That being said, I don't think he adds as much as that third tight end because Goddard, as good as he is, it's not going to be a touchdown every week. Sadiq, we don't know what the fuck he's going to be. This guy could have absolutely no floor whatsoever. Basically a zero at the pick. And that's going to leave a hole in our tight end spot that we got to fill, and I think Otton will be that. Though there has been some negative news on him recently, some negative coach speak, basically saying something like we want to reduce his pass volume, like the dependency on him in the passing game, which doesn't make sense to me because they didn't bring in anybody else at tight end to help.
They didn't bring in another receiver either. In fact, they let one of their best receivers go.
Yes. Yeah. So this doesn't make sense. Now they're getting some of those, like some of the more depth pieces back, like consistently, probably, hopefully.
Well, I mean,
McMillan's
hopefully Godwin
recovering
and
from that
Igulu
neck
don't get.
injury.
But yeah,
But I think they're still going to lean on Auden. I don't see how they get around it if they were really planning on replacing and stuff. I need to look at the
especially if
actual.
Baker's playing quarterback. Baker throws to the tight end a lot.
Baker, the thing about Baker is if you have a body and you are on that field, you're bound to see the ball like 4 or 5 times that game. I swear, even the tertiary receivers got to be on their
I
toes
love
all the
everything
time.
about Baker.
It's awesome.
Baker's so cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe people hated him as much as they did. I just think that they saw the crotch grab and everybody immediately went, fuck that guy. But it was all competitiveness. I've seen
was
10
the flag
million
plant
athletes do that.
in Ohio State too? The OU flag plant?
I was a huge fan of that as well. I was actually a really big fan of that. More because it pissed off the other team so much. Like, bro, why are you guys being little sissies about it? Like, shut up. You would like your home field. No, bro. If somebody wanted to go plug a flat in AstroTurf, good luck looking like an idiot.
You could say he's polarizing, right? Like abrasive, but
extremely polarized. I don't think he's got an abrasive personality anymore, but I do think that when he was in college, that was the case. But that being said, he's clearly not that anymore, so people kind of need to get over it.
I didn't like him for most of the start of his career. That's probably because he played for the Browns. Where I really started to like him was that one Rams game where he won America's heart.
Yeah, that's where you and everybody else liked Baker Mayfield. I was a fan of Baker going back to him being a fucking high school player in Texas. Just kidding. I didn't know about it. I didn't know about him at all. I don't even know if he went to Texas high school. I don't know. I don't like anybody in this range. Maybe Cooper Kupp might have a good season.
I like Kirk better than Kupp.
I don't want to touch 49ers. I don't want to touch a single 49er in any draft ever.
Wicks, I'm starting up Wicks or Mitchell. You want AD Mitchell?
No. If you don't believe in another Jet, why would I believe in Mitchell?
Yeah, we don't need another Jet.
I was like, dude, what are we doing? Like, if we're betting on 2 Jets pass catchers being good, no way.
Yeah, without Geno, it doesn't make any sense. You basically have to take Geno at that point because you've projected a ceiling outcome for the Jets.
Yeah,
for sure. Unless Cade Klubnik's coming in and dominating.
I'm very intrigued about the Jets quarterback situation because I do think that Geno will give you very serviceable play for the first 5 weeks of the season. I don't know what the fuck Cade Klubnik's going to look like.
Yeah, it's scary stuff for the Jets.
No clue. But
I'm willing to bet they find out. I think he's going to play this year for them.
But so that's why
it makes sense just to hammer a receiver the rest of the way, finish with 9. If we were going to do that, I do think Christian Kirk's going to have a lot of volume for a Shanahan offense.
I think
you were saying everybody gets injured. I think we're looking at 2 to 3 spike weeks for him. AD Mitchell can play flat out. This guy is a good NFL receiver. Fast, twitchy, separates, can do it all. Doesn't catch consistently, and he plays.
No, I don't want him. I don't want him.
You want to roll the dice on Chris Brazzell, big body Tennessee guy, third receiver for the Panthers. He kind of sucks. Elijah Surratt's being talked up.
Third receiver from the Chargers at the top of the screen.
Trey Harris, he's going to be like the run blocking receiver. He might catch a few touchdowns. He'll be on the field for run plays.
But I'm going to close my eyes, and whoever you pick, I'm going to fucking be happy with it.
I have less Surratt than anybody. I'm going to go with him. And he was getting some talk at
who did we go
being
with?
like a power slot player for the Ravens. He's a rookie. He's not going to do anything. I think my preference here is actually Kirk.
I don't know why you want any 49ers stock.
Because you said there's going to be a lot of
he's going to get hurt too. They're all going to get hurt. All 53 guys at some point in time will be injured.
Yes, but at this
they will have to dip into the practice squad to make up for this nonsense.
I need 2 spike weeks. And Kirk showed me in the playoffs last year that he can still put up a 30 bomb. And he still got enough work.
But that's week 19.
He's a good pick.
The season's over by then.
Even when the season's on the line against a good offense is when he got that. Against a good defense against the Steelers in the playoffs is when he did that.
Well, it couldn't have been against the Steelers it is Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my point. Is he had his breakout well after
he was with Houston last year, dude. He was with Houston.
Oh, Christian Kirk. Yeah.
And he just went. But I think he was the most volume that was left. Now we have other guys we like here, right? Or Horton, I guess, has gone too right now.
Christian Kirk was in Jacksonville at some point in time, wasn't he? Or was he in Arizona?
Yeah, he was. That was a team before. Speaking of Jacoby,
was he in all of those places?
He was there. He was in Arizona.
Yeah, he was in Arizona. Okay, cool. I wasn't making it up, but yeah,
I think it was Arizona to Jacksonville, and then Jacksonville to Houston, and then he's with the Niners now.
I don't know. I don't like anything about. That's the thing. Journeyman receivers on their fourth team. Do you think that's going to be something that we want?
I do when he's a veteran playing for Shanahan, because the offense as a whole, grade A situation. Next piece is the quarterback play good? Yeah, it's really good with Purdy. Next piece is what's the opportunity like? Well, we got Evans. I know Evans is going to be missing at least 2 or 3 games because of his hamstring. Guaranteed, just ruled out. Kittle's got the Achilles tear. That's the other number one receiver. Who knows when he's back and when he's full. Real quick, we're on the clock here. I think Pat Bryant, Thornton was a deep shot for the Chiefs at the Rashee Rice news surfaces. Like, that's a good opportunity for him. Besides that, Noel should get some run at slot for the Texans.
Oh, just draft Odell. Fuck that.
I'm gonna go Noel because it sounds like Odell.
These guys all suck, man.
Yeah, this is all highly sus. I like Pat Bryant the most out of these guys.
This range of receivers is like drafting a piece of shit or a fucking pile of puke.
Do you want the giant douche or was it giant turd or massive douche?
You want a giant
collection?
Oh, I don't.
Giant douche or like a big turd or something.
One of them was like a turd sandwich or something.
Yeah. Because we got Daniel Jones, if I remember right. Yeah. Do you want to give that Deion Burks guy a spin here? I know you don't care about these other receivers.
I'm straight up. It's not even like I'm not sold on any of these guys. I fucking hate all of this. Like, this is.
Yeah. These
are bad choices, man. Once you're out of that Malachi Fields, Ryan Flournoy range, you got fucking dick after it.
I think Mitchell could probably be some spike weeks for us early in the season. Like, these are two of his
don't know what to expect from the Jets.
I think they won't.
Did he get traded in the middle of the season last year or something? Why did he play the Jets back-to-back weeks?
Because he got traded from the.
Oh, he got traded? Okay, gotcha. And he had to play the Jets both weeks. And then there was Quinnen Williams, who got back-to-back bye weeks because he got traded to Dallas during our bye week.
Pretty sweet.
Oh, he got traded during the Jets bye week leading up to our bye week.
As long as he gets all the same money as if he played a full season. Because do NFL players get paid by the game or do they get paid?
It's a game check.
Game check, yeah.
Yeah, it's a game check.
Did our guy get taken? No, he's still there. Okay, so we can roll with Burks. If A.D. Mitchell was there, I was actually going to pivot. I think he's just too strong of an option to slate to pass up. But beyond that, yeah, this is a crapshoot. Have you heard of this Brendan Thompson guy yet?
No.
So he's really, really, really fast. 4.26 40 time. And when this is a kind of guy,
5'9", 166 pounds. He's gonna see maybe 3 snaps.
Mike McDaniel's kind of had a personal moment after he was drafted. He was really excited to get this guy. He was
we were all excited for Deuce Vaughn too, and look how well that worked out.
Well, he's kind of, to me, he's more like the Tank Dell or the who's another recent guy. I was gonna say Isaiah Bond is a similar size, but that guy's nowhere near as fast.
No, man. The only person I can think of at that size is Kevontae Turpin, and we use him, maybe 2 targets a game, 3 gadget plays, and a bunch of returns.
I was still sold on him taking another step for like a slightly bigger step. And maybe that's this year.
He can't catch. He can't catch a full speed pass from Dak Prescott. Are you fucking kidding me? That pass will take him off his feet. He'll catch it and fucking go flying. Like, no, man, no.
Yeah. So quick
recap. I know this team. I'm a huge fan of pretty much everything we did. Except for
that's pretty awesome.
Running back that heavy first was actually pretty wild.
Yeah, just
especially with
recapping
two of
and
them being really unknown commodities with Jeremiah Love and Cam Scadaboo. I like Kenneth Walker a lot to produce. I like Godwin to produce a good floor. I don't know too much about Tyson, but I think the Saints offense will look a lot better this year than it did last year. Jadarian Price, super sweet. I think we got a lot of value there. Josh Downs, Troy, and I believe he's going to have a great season for the Colts. Daniel Jones, I don't like Daniel Jones in any way, shape, or form, but I do believe that the Downs stack was smart and that Jones can have a few pretty solid games that, take us to another level.
Yep.
Sadiq and Spears, completely unknown commodities. Well, Spears, we know what Spears is going to bring to the table. The problem is the Titans' backfield is extremely crowded, which is what makes it unknown. They drafted Singleton, who's going to take over a lot of the passing downs because he can block as well as he does and he can catch as well as he does. I don't guys like Tajay Spears. This is usually where they lose their control on the RB2 spot. Calvin Ridley, don't bet too much on Calvin Ridley. He's not going to catch the ball very well, but he's going to get open. He's going to get a lot of opportunities because he's going to be open a lot. Cam Ward's going to have to throw the ball out. Look at that. He's got a 10-target game. Got a couple pops. He'll be all right. Cade Otton, I like him to be the most consistent pass catcher for the Bucs all season long, and that's just because Baker likes to look at him quite often. We'll see what Igbuka and Godwin do, but we've got Godwin here, Igbuka in another draft, so we do believe that the Bucs offense as a whole will be pretty solid. Wicks and Surratt,
yeah,
yeah. Miss me with that bullshit. I don't know anything about this. Jalen Noel and Deion Burks. Look, I'm out on all of these dudes.
This is the reason you want Wicks, because he's got 2 touchdown potential. He legit does.
So there is a couple pops for Dontavian Wicks. Plus, the Eagles' pass catching situation is a little bit of an unknown with Mekhi Lemon and the AJ Brown uncertainty. We're pretty sure AJ Brown's going to be gone, but we don't know what Mekhi Lemon's going to be. So maybe Wicks steps into a pretty nice role.
Yeah.
Surratt, Jalen Noel, and Deion Burks. I know fuck all about all three of these guys, but the offenses for them are pretty exciting. And Troy mentioned a reputable reception connection. You said,
perception. Matt Harmon. Yeah, we'll start looking at some of that data. We can't show it on stream because it's behind a paywall.
Yeah, right.
But you can listen to his YouTube, and it's great stuff.
Yeah. So we're talking about Deion Burks maybe being a sleeper on channels like that. I don't know shit about Jalen Noel, but the Houston offense is going to be fucking exciting this year. And Surratt, I can't imagine that the fourth pass catcher in Baltimore is going to have any kind of good season. But there may be a couple weeks here and there where he's just push comes to shove and we get a couple pops out of him.
Well, the thing about Baltimore, right? Zay Flowers number 1, Mark Andrews number 2, but we're only talking about what is that between the two of them? 12 to 15 targets.
They only throw 22 times a game.
Lamar's going to throw a lot more, and they have this absolute vacuum at that third receiver spot.
They're not throwing 30 times a game, though, I don't think. You think they're going to throw 30 times a game?
I think they're going to be a much better offense. They're not going to have to clam up as much as they did last year. I think they're going to play faster because Todd Monken's no longer the OC. I can't remember who they brought in to replace him. I think they'll play. I think Lamar will throw more than he did last year, certainly. Now we're betting on a rookie to come through, and I don't even know if he's the best rookie on his team because they have this Jacoby Lane guy out of USC, big body dude. He's actually fast, is a good outside spot, and that sort of skill set's much different than what Zay Flowers has. Whereas Surratt is kind of like this hybrid between the two. Zay Flowers being that smaller body, shiftier, really put him all over the field, work up a screen for him, run a deep cross with them. Zay can kind of do it all except for be like a true X receiver on the outside.
Yeah.
That is where I think Jacoby Lane could step in, but what Rashad Bateman's been doing that same role. Now, Surratt, the way the coaches have been talking about him, he's a bigger body too. So they view him, I think it was quote, he's an inside guy who could play outside. I think that's what they said about him. And Jacoby Lane, they said he's an outside guy who could play inside. It might be confusing the players on that. But either way, there's some kind of talk about him, like he could be sort of like a CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, with Zay on the team, no one is going to be CeeDee Lamb but Zay Flowers. But this guy can, like, you can see the role, the pathway on a team that is on a good offense, right? That's kind of like that's the bull case for him. Now,
It's just
bear
a really
case,
heavy
he's a
offense. Like I said,
rookie.
we're looking
Not
at
gonna
pass
happen.
catcher 4 for the Ravens. I'm not
Yeah,
sold on it. But I
yeah,
mean, look, here's the thing. We're talking about pass catcher 4 for the Ravens. Pass catcher 4 is usually as good as pass catcher 2.
yeah, and especially for this team, right? Where it's a touchdown. We're looking for a touchdown.
Well, for the
40
Ravens
yards.
specifically, pass catcher 4 is usually as good as pass catcher 2.
Yeah,
Because
we're not
pass
looking for
catcher 2
anything
is
much.
usually Mark Andrews or Zay Flowers, depending on who's getting the bulk that day. But it
Yeah,
has been Mark Andrews lately because of all these damn clutch drops that he's had.
yeah, and likely being injured, because if not, I think likely would have ran the circles around.
I think likely
Andrews
would have
last 2
taken
years.
I think it would have taken
Likely
a
has
gigantic
also been a lot of my financial heartache.
I don't
Be
yeah,
retired
that's
already.
likely true, yeah.
And then some of the ceiling on these other guys. Wicks 2 touchdown upside any given game, especially in his new offense. He was doing that with the Packers last year.
Yeah, it's a lot of possible ceiling. Like I said, I just don't know shit about this Jalen Noel guy, but Houston's offense is definitely going to be exciting. And there's Tank Dell may or may not be healthy. Nico Collins tends to get hurt every now and then. There could be room for.
Yeah, I was going to say, when Nico's off the team last year and they were running that stint with just the rookies and Hutchinson and the rookies Hutchinson and Mechie, the best receiver on the field was Jalen Noel. He just stood out on the film. But they didn't play him as much. You got time for one more draft?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you're an hour ahead of me, dude. It's already, 5 a.m. there?
I'm operating in a lawless wasteland of paternity leave for 3 more days, so.
Oh, and you also
I'm up every 2 to 3 hours anyway.
The timelessness
of day is night.
Yeah.
Time has ceased to be a meaningful governance. The top thing that is structuring my day right now is how cold the AC vent is when it comes on. Then the baby gets cold, and then he's got to like move around, and also, of course, the baby's like feeding and pooping cycles. That's about it for me.
Wait, babies pee and poop?
That is my. Nope.
I don't want one anymore.
I'm trying to get him on that plan though.
To pee and poop?
Looks like it's halfway filled. We'll see how fast. I'm gonna run real quick to use the gentleman's room. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, I'm actually gonna go off stream for a second too, but I'm only just gonna take myself off the stage.
All right.
In the meantime, what I will do for us. Where is it? Aha.
My dog's, I don't know if you can see her, right next to the WrestleMania sign view.
Yeah, I can see.
It's because of the thunderstorm. She's actually tried to crawl behind the sign.
I feel safest at WrestleMania as well.
Behind the giant belt buckle of the Undertaker.
Makes sense.
Let's see how fast this room is filling. Hopefully it's able to. Yeah, okay, we filled 2 and the timer gone. It'll probably go before. Yeah, I think we talked a lot about that last team, so it should be good there. I think other things that happened. Nothing really happened this week in the NFL. The schedule release was just the biggest news. Oh, how about the Rashi Rice? I guess. Are you caught up on the situation?
Didn't he get like arrested or something?
So he violated his probation for smoking
Oh yeah,
marijuana.
that's right. Yeah. Probation violation. So he
What
got
that's
sentenced
done
to like
is
30 days.
that it's for a previous offense that he was on probation for. So this violation of probation, there's nothing, no one's criminally charging for the marijuana outside of what it means for the previous.
No, you just violated probation. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, the NFL doesn't look too kindly on bad images in general and stuff. So there's some speculation on will his and then sorry to cap it off, he's got to serve 30 days in prison for
Yeah.
violating the suspension. The 30 days in prison or the probation, it's not for smoking pot, it's for the probation being violated.
Yeah.
So he probably wouldn't have gotten, if this was his first offense for anything, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But now he's got to go to prison for 30 days, which he's already serving. And then the NFL may or may not act outside of that. Now, historically, unless it's a violent offense and you're not Josh Gordon, then they're not going to suspend you for weed. But because it is,
Poor Josh Gordon, dude.
because Rashi Rice had the hit and run, and because he was involved in some domestic disputes.
Rashee Rice has a very colorful history, and the NFL really should probably take a little bit of action against him, if we're being honest.
If anything, just to wake this poor young kid up, man.
At some point in time, we got.
I don't know him at all, but
this isn't
like,
a young kid anymore. He's a grown man
decisions.
making grown man decisions, dude. He's got to be held accountable. I know he plays for the darling Chiefs of the NFL, and Mahomes absolutely needs somebody to throw the ball to. But this can't be something that the NFL allows and perpetuates. Like
This cannot go on.
It can't go on. The Deshaun Watsons, the Kareem punts, the Rashee Rice. It's kind of got to stop, man. These dudes definitely got to be held to a higher standard. It's pretty absurd that they're going to get paid as much as they do, have as many people look up to them as they do. A lot of them being children, and this is how they conduct themselves in their personal lives. No, the NFL's got to do something about that.
Kareem punt is great because it refers both to his offense that he committed, but also like where you drafted him in your fantasy leagues every year or the end of his
punting.
career.
Like you're punting. Yeah, I may as well take Kareem Hunt because he's there. Yeah. Speaking of punting, let's punt the number 5 overall and take Javonte Williams.
Hell yeah, brother. Sign me up for them 14 PPR points a game.
Dude, Javonte Williams is going to have the best season known to running back kind.
I think he'll start the year strong.
I do predict that he will break the single season rushing record this year.
Wow.
I am just blowing smoke out my ass. I don't think that's actually going to happen, but if it does happen, I did predict it here first.
I would just love for our offensive line to be that good. I don't think he's got the pop anymore, man. I'd say like 4 yards a carry for the most part. You see him break any? I don't remember any big time runs from Javonte, like massive runs. Let's see the longs here.
The thing is,
66,
for those runs to happen,
pretty long.
Right. So for those runs to happen on a consistent basis, the receivers kind of need a fucking block. And we have the two most diva bitch receivers in the league who don't block that well. And I hope you two hear me so you actually do it this year. Flournoy blocks.
Yeah, I was going to say, you calling out my boy Flournoy and Turpin or what?
Flournoy blocks. Turpin's not big enough to block anybody. If he's on the field for a rundown, it's because he's getting the ball.
I'm just kidding. Are you calling out my boy Tolbert or what?
Tolbert's gone.
Yeah, I know. He did.
That's why I think Flournoy is going to take the lead that he's going to take because we fucking bailed on every other wide receiver 3 option. We're not going to give
All right,
Turpin
quick.
anymore.
Jamar Chase or Ryan Flournoy? Go.
Ryan Flournoy.
Yeah, duh. Some idiot
What the
just
fuck
took.
kind of dumbass question was that? If Joe Burrow gets hurt, Jamar Chase is basically fucking useless.
We're Jason here, right?
JSN, Jonathan Taylor, or James Cook. We don't have a lot of James Cook.
I think we just go JSN here. You can stay with
Right.
ADP. Yeah. What was I gonna say about what did you say about
We said that Ryan
Jamar
Flournoy was
Chase
going
is
to have a
useless
way
without
better
Burrow.
season than Jamar Chase because Jamar
Joe
Chase
Flacco would
is
disagree with you, sir. That Jamar Chase is useless without Burrow. Joe Flacco got a lot of.
Don't bring up the tape. I don't want to hear it.
Don't tell me what actually happened.
I thought we already established it. I was just blowing smoke out my ass earlier.
Yeah, in that case, I'm taking Ryan Flournoy at pick 20. We got to.
We should have taken Ryan Flournoy at pick 5. I don't think we're going to get a chance to draft him.
Probably not. This is a cutthroat savvy room. Everyone knows what's up here. Like we got purple bag logo. I think it's a raccoon.
It's Thermer Kerman.
Who the else is in this? Yeah, who else is in this?
Thermer Kerman knows what he's doing. Is that Holly Weed? That dude definitely knows what he's doing.
Raphael.
Godlike. That dude's godlike, bro. He definitely knows what he's doing.
Oh my God, we're drafting against George Abgasu. We're done, man. Let's just pack it up. Okay, let's just end the stream. Pack it up. Let's just give him the money. I'm just gonna send this guy all the money I was gonna put into the summer. Just give this guy the money now.
May as well, man. He's like the tops. I heard. I read it in a book.
I heard he had the courage to take Ryan Flournoy at pick 5 instead of JSN.
Dude, somebody took Malik Neighbors at 101 in one of my pro drafts. This wasn't like because I do a lot of rookie drafts just to kind of see what the newbies are thinking. And then you get a lot of ringers in there, so you still get some pretty good draft strategies. Yeah. And I do a lot of pro drafts, and this dude in a pro draft took Malik Neighbors 101.
What's I don't know the format. Pro draft just being what, like ESPN redraft, like
no, just season long 10-team standard PPR.
Yeah, redraft. That's what I mean by redraft. Yeah. Like
okay, all right. I see what you're saying, but yeah, 10-team standard season long PPR took Malik Neighbors 101. It doesn't matter what the context is.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Don't take Malik Neighbors 101.
Well, you could. The only context I could see that is like a dynasty.
No, not at 101 though. There are better receivers.
I still take Jeremiah Love there, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Or Bijan.
In fact, I'm going to take Jadarian Price in a dynasty draft.
Not number 1 overall. It's either Bijan or Jeremiah Love. I start up Henry here, by the way. We got 7 seconds left.
Yeah, that's cool. Just no tight ends. Just no tight ends.
Yeah, Henry's the best on this board here. He's also Derrick Henry gets to play the Bengals defense in Week 17. Tell me he's not scoring 2 touchdowns in December against the Bengals.
5. He might score 5 touchdowns.
Tell me he's not going to be the on the winner again. He was on the winner last year for the same reason. He just went off in December. He always does.
Well, yeah, that's when it's time for the running backs to come alive. If your running back doesn't come alive in December, you're not going to win shit come January.
Yeah. But Derrick Henry in particular, though.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I think he comes too alive, though, because he fizzles out hard in January.
Well, I don't care. He's always live for the fantasy
playoffs.
Well,
for our playoffs, but not for real playoffs. I want to see the Ravens win a fucking postseason game, man.
They're never going to get out of there. Well, I guess they are the Harbaugh, right? So maybe they will. We'll see what this new guy does. I don't even know the new coach is.
Didn't Harbaugh win a Super Bowl against Harbaugh?
That Ravens, that's the only way he could win is if his other brother.
Because he beat his failure of a brother. Fuck off. Fuck off.
I think both Harbaughs are very good coaches. I just think that for whatever reason, this Harbaugh always made the Ravens Harbaugh always made the most
I like
conservative choice.
Schmitty or Jacobs the best out of this range. We don't have a lot of Jacobs, so we could probably go there.
I was gonna say I have the less Jacobs out of all these guys. Maybe I have less Rashi Rice.
I'm
Could be a
not
mistake.
taking Rice anywhere because I don't want him to play next year. So I'm kind of manifesting that via my fantasy strategy.
I strongly feel like I am imbuing my thoughts on the person too much, and I just need to be taking Rashi Rice when he comes up.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. If you're gonna disregard the personal matters and not have any fucking integrity or morals, then yeah, go ahead and draft him everywhere. He's gonna have a great season if he's not
I don't win a
suspended.
trophy for not having a piece of shit on my team. I win a trophy if that piece of shit has all. If you
As the
guess all the
season of
points
a
taken on.
lifetime. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I don't care what their moralities. If they're an eligible player that I like the situation for, and I do
You're
think
right.
Rice has the talent plus the situation to dominate. I think it's silly not to take him unless you're concerned about two things. One, obviously the police situation and the NFL. Like, are they going to act beyond this jail time? Or are they going to suspend
Look,
him for any amount of time? We don't
he's
know.
spending legitimate time in jail. So if he's not getting suspended, the NFL is giving the Chiefs a little bit of favoritism they wouldn't give anywhere else.
Well, two, here's the other thing. Did you hear about this knee procedure he just had?
No.
He had some kind of like knee cleanup surgery recently, and now it's probably like the Chiefs just chose to drop this in the same week. It was so weird. It was like,
Well, if
it
it's a
was like
cleanup, it's probably fine. Most
this
people
guy's going to jail, but let's not have that be the talking point. Like, let's. By the way, he just had this knee surgery. It's
he
like they're
got
trying to hide
injured.
one or the
Yeah.
other.
I'm not a fan of the way the Chiefs handle these kinds of situations either, but I'm not their dad. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Okay, so we have two running backs now. Henry, Jacobs, and Jigba.
Yeah, but if Javonte's sitting there, I want him.
Yeah, he just went off.
Yeah, now we can go receiver.
All right. Adams or DJ Moore or Burden.
Adams. Between those two, it's Adams.
And do you like Waddle or McLaurin better? I'm fine all the way up through
I think
McLaurin.
Waddle could outperform Devontae Adams, but I'm not sold on it.
I'll start up
So
Adams.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
whoever you're most comfortable with between those two. Because I do think by end of season, Jalen Waddle could have better numbers, but Devontae Adams has that touchdown upside, especially working with the staff man.
So I think the way I would go is on a full PPR, I'd probably go Waddle first, then Adams, then DJ Moore. And I don't know where Luther Burden mixes in that. I think Burden is after Adams to
I'm
me.
fading all Bears receivers that aren't Odunze.
You know what? Burden's pricey here. He could pay off, but yeah, I think Odunze is the workhorse out of the receiving core. I think Burden's got some ceiling, but I think Odunze is like. I think he does what he did at the start of last season all year instead. I think
If he's healthy,
this
I
they're
agree.
right
I
here.
wholeheartedly agree.
I think it's
Because
like
look at this
15
target
fours. I think we
even down
see
the
this
stretch
exact
towards
thing.
the end of the season, this target share is insane. 10, 10, 6, 9, 6. Like this, it's a fuck ton of targets.
Yeah, and then he was hurt like a lot of the back
And look
half
at
of the
that.
season.
Even during this middle stretch where he got hurt with this 3 target game, I believe. No, not the 3 target game.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, no, yeah, the 3 target game. That's where he got hurt.
Also, check out the defenses that
Dude,
Caleb
this
had to
is
play
insane.
against, right? This is Pittsburgh, Philly, Green Bay, and the Rams. He went through a gauntlet of good pass defenses last year. I don't. I think the end of the season's not going to be the same in the fantasy playoffs. So yeah, like it was a lot of good pass defenses to play against. But this year, at the end of the season's going to be the Lions.
It's fucking
Um,
absurd.
they've got one easy game and one hard game. I think it's the Cardinals, and then they play like an actual good team week 16 or something. But yeah, it'll probably be a lot better. I do think Burden is step below. Here, this is an easy Waddle, Montgomery, or Odunze for me.
I think I like Bucky Irving the most, but he's probably going to get hurt at some point in time. Waddle or Montgomery, fuck either one. I think Waddle's going to have
because we took Montgomery tonight already. So we'll go Waddle.
We have a lot of Montgomery in a lot of places. Waddle's definitely going to give us a little variety.
He's a smash at pick 50, man. He's got to outperform this.
It is kind of, I mean, some of these running backs falling as much as they do, even Javonte Williams falling to the mid 30s, mid 40s is kind of surprising to me.
He's going to get steamed up a lot more, I think. But the running backs, he can't really go ahead of someone like Jeremiah Love. He can maybe go ahead of someone like ETN, but I'd still rather have ETN, I think.
I think he should be going above Etienne. He should be going well above him. Like, he should be going well above him.
Situation says yes, but the players, I don't think so. I think Etienne has a lot more juice.
No. Just no.
I just didn't see it at the end of last year for Javonte. Was he hurt? He got back a lot.
I think there was a an abdomen injury at some point in time in like week 15 or something like that.
If he wasn't hurt, he was just much less effective at the end of last year. He just looked so much slower. We also didn't play as easy of defenses, though.
No, we played a gauntlet of defenses towards the end of the season, which is what pissed me off about like our defense not being able to step up, because I had to watch these other guys actually be good at their job.
How'd that go? So Washington definitely sucked. Giants sucked, but we weren't trying after week 17. Chargers were a good defense to go against.
Vikings, I think we ran backups that week 18 matchup.
Detroit has a good run defense, but I think their linebackers were banged up when we played them. And then KC and Philly obviously are stout up front. So, yeah, we had a pretty challenging series of run defenses we went against. I could see Javonte's performance just being due to that. I will say he's got no competition. That's
what it is to me.
When Jaden Blue was brought up, did you hear
about that? Him and fucking nobody, because Jaden Blue had all the opportunities last year and did fuck all with them.
Did you hear about the coaches laughing when he was brought up? Like a beat reporter asked some of the running back coaches, like, "Hey, what do you think of Jaden Blue's involvement this coming year?" And they laughed.
They laughed.
Like not misquoting, not exaggerating. They laughed. Like, oh, they didn't say this, but like, oh, you mean
there's got to be some behavioral issues with them or something.
You mean Mr. Louis Vuitton blisters over there?
Let's get to players.
Now, the thing about Jaden Blue is
players. Wait, get to players so we can look at who we're at.
Sorry. Hey, Price is back here.
Jadarian Price. I don't even got to think too hard about this one.
All right. Yeah, I'm down.
Plus, we're getting him 8 picks after his ADP, so it's a good value, and we need a good running back at that spot.
Just take the other side, a couple of bear notes. Carolina did have the league's best rush defense for a stretch toward the end of last season. If they return to that form, then that week 17 matchup could be kind of tricky. Obviously, Charbonnet can show up halfway through the season, take away a lot of those goal line and most of the volume.
I'm not worried about Charbonnet in any way, shape, or form coming off an injury. Next year, I'll worry about Charbonnet, but this year, we're good. It's going to be the Jadarian Price show.
I love the player on the film. That guy's a good runner. You can just see he's a good running back. I feel the same way as when I felt when I was watching Quinshon Judkins in January 2 years ago. Where I was just looking at this tape. It's like, this guy barely gets any carries, but fuck, does he hit it hard when he runs?
Dude, it's crazy. He's great in pass pro too. He's a good good pass catcher out of the backfield. During the time that he had to run without Jeremiah Love, he was the guy, and it was phenomenal.
Was it against good competition? Do you remember?
Oh, it's Notre Dame's schedule, so it's going to be middling sometimes, and maybe a few top tier teams here and there.
Well, recently they kind of front load like elite teams, and then they have a couple of their traditional games, which are like. Well, that's why I was asking: was this against like Navy that he went for?
Well, even if it was against Army or Navy, it's hard to run against either of those teams. Navy's an actual good team.
I don't think their defense is going to be as stout as versus like I don't know, like the Texas A&M or the Bama games that
Well,
Notre
yeah,
Dame.
it's not going to be SEC level competition,
That's
but
what I'm asking.
maybe
Yeah,
is still they could probably play in the ACC.
because to me, when I watch all the college prospect films, I'm not just watching the like what did they do, like the eye test. I'm also looking at who they're playing against, and then what point in the year is that? Because you can I don't know. Ted Hurst is a big name this year, for example. That guy was the leading receiver at Georgia State for 2 years. Like, yeah, like you're the biggest kid in fourth grade. Like, who cares? Now, maybe he's good, maybe he's not. But I'm saying I don't. I certainly don't know after that. Because
Dak,
here we get a lot of
Dak,
quarterback.
Dak.
Yeah, I think Naked Dak here's pretty good. We can always backstack him later, and I think he outscores these other two guys outright. I think.
Yeah, outright, he's going to outdo Jalen Hurts and Caleb Williams. The one thing, Jalen Williams will probably have more rushing touchdowns.
Oh, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Williams. I was watching the basketball game tonight. My bad. Jalen
Oh.
Hurts is going to have, yeah, my bad. The Thunder pissed me off today. I got Jalen Williams living
Hurts
rent.
will definitely have more rushing. So will Williams. Both of them will have more rushing than Dak.
Yes.
Both yards and
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Dak's
There were
rushing
several
touchdown
points.
props are 1.5 every year.
Right. So there were several points towards the back end of last season where Dak basically said, fuck this, I'm running. And
He has to, but I don't see
if
it.
he starts out with that level of urgency come week 1, rather than picking it up whenever we need the must wins, we're going to see Dak Prescott not revert a little bit to his rookie form, but maybe his second or third year form.
I don't think we'll ever see Dak Prescott use his legs in a meaningful way other than a spot touchdown or a spot
Dude,
first down.
you weren't watching weeks 13 through 18 last year then, because that was it. Like Dak was taking off. It wasn't a ton of it, but he was taking off. He was getting what he needed to get.
I'm seeing numbers consistent
It
with
starts
what.
out 6 runs against Denver, 4 against Arizona, 4. Well, these are sacks against Vegas, or they might be
games
kneel
that we
downs.
struggled.
These might be kneel downs.
These are games that we struggled through the air. It looks like some of these, or didn't need to throw. Yeah, this will be kneel downs with those Jets.
Yeah, the negative.
I see numbers are consistent with what I think. These are certainly not Caleb Williams.
No, I don't. I didn't say that they were Caleb Williams numbers or Jalen Hurts numbers. I said that
Dak,
there
but I
were
remember
several
Dak
times
actually
last
being
season
like
where Dak Prescott decided to put the ball in his hands and take off. And if instead of waiting for must-win situations like he has been doing, he starts doing it from week 1 like we fucking need him to, then I think we're going to see a point where Dak Prescott could potentially outrush both Jalen Hurts and Caleb Williams. Although he won't reach anywhere like Lamar Jackson.
I don't know. I think there's like a 10% chance that Dak either has better rushing yards or rushing touchdowns than Williams or Hurts. But even more so, I think there's like a 20% chance that he has like half the rushing yards even of like Hurts or Williams. I think both those quarterbacks are going to lean into their legs a lot more.
If that's the case, then Dak's going to be throwing the fuck out of the football.
Who do you want here? Sutton? LaPorta?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to go ahead and get Sutton just to make our receivers a little stronger. Adams is kind of scary to me. And we got a Denver double stack now, so we can pick up Knicks maybe.
LaPorta's nice, but we can stack Fergo with Dak later on in the
draft. I remembered that we already got the Waddle pick, I wouldn't have done Sutton there. I would have gone LaPorta, so I take that back. But now that we have both,
I'm okay with not having LaPorta though, because we could just stack Fergo later on in the draft.
Yeah, you can. There's LaPorta. I'd rather have Andrews, I think, in the 12th or 13th than
LaPorta might have maybe 100 or so more yards than Fergo on the end of the season. I don't think the difference is going to be that much.
The only variable with LaPorta is that Drew Petzing, the guy who made McBride come alive, is he works the offense through the tight end. He's going to Detroit, so that could be.
Yeah, but that dude wasn't working with Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and
yeah,
Jameson
you're right.
Williams. So yeah,
No, yeah,
Laporta can
Marvin
probably have that.
Harrison and
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Mari Dimercado.
We could go quarterback 2 here with Matt Stafford. I like that. We could go Jacoby Myers, Wan'Dale Robinson. I like him. Wan'Dale
We have
Robinson.
2 Broncos. I like quarterback 2. The only question is Stafford or Nix. We have 2 Broncos receivers.
It's
Only
Stafford.
one. Still Stafford.
It's Stafford. But straight up, dude. This isn't even going to be close this season. If Stafford plays 18, he's going to outplay.
I really regret getting 2
other
Denver receivers if we're not that high on the Broncos passing.
I'm not that high on the Broncos. I don't. They play in a tough division. I don't believe really in Bo Nix or Sean Payton. I don't. I don't fucking like I don't fucking like them. Like I don't fucking like them at all. But
I think they're good at their prices.
I like them giving us Javonte Williams for fucking free. That was cool. But like
that was pretty cool.
Everything else about them, I'm not. If they let go of Jerry Jeudy, I like Jerry Jeudy a lot. They disbanded one of the best defenses I'd ever seen. I don't know. I don't like anything about him.
Jerry Jeudy was so wasted. I know he got injured a couple of times, and that kind of slowed his career down. But the Broncos quarterback and the Browns quarterback situation has been atrocious. They put him outside.
It's been bad. Yeah, because who was it? Fucking Russell Wilson for him in Denver, and then now he's dealing with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland.
Yeah,
great.
And he always had the Sutton. There's because we're saying he's good at slot. There's always going to be a Sutton type on the outside to take away like a legit number, like quote unquote legit number.
But that's fine. We've seen plenty of slot receivers operate as the wide receiver too, and still put together ridiculous levels of production.
Yeah, you get the feeling that Jeudy could have done a lot more for all of his career, pretty much.
If he'd played for almost anybody else.
Yeah.
And that's the only teams I'm excluding from that list are like the Jets and the Cardinals.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so far it's shaping up pretty well. T340 with that.
You need to look at tight end for sure. At 116, I feel like there's going to be some good picks for us.
Kelsey or Goddard stood out to me. I do like Kincaid.
Off the top, I feel like all 5 of those tight ends could have exactly the same season.
I think I have the least of Kincaid. Do you want to go with Kincaid?
Yeah, we may as well. Fuck it.
I really like the other 2 tight ends much better though. But just to switch it up.
I think everybody in that range is going to have a better season than Kincaid, but I think Kincaid is as capable as all those other guys is putting up the exact same season.
Yeah.
Like we're talking 700 yards, 8 touchdowns max.
I think he could have I think on this team, the Buffalo Bills team, with the lack of a true number 1, DJ Moore kind of being older, and then everyone else being a slot receiver, I think Kincaid, it's not another question for him to have 10 touchdowns in a season. That's extreme.
Yeah,
probably to get like
I said 8. I think it's there. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's there. I think we probably look at 6, really. Like 6 would probably be the realistic number. 7 touchdowns.
7 including playoffs last year.
So there's value in Kincaid, but I think Fergo's going to have more touchdowns, maybe not as many yards. I think likely is combined probably going to have more yards and maybe another touchdown.
So Knicks fell back still. Do you want to just get our third quarterback and pick 120 or second tight end, Kelsey? I think Knicks just stands out here. He barely falls this late. We have a double stack already.
Yeah. Whatever. Take Bo Nix.
Let's do it.
So for the record, I don't believe in the Broncos, but if I'm wrong, then I'll be happy to be wrong because it means we make a lot of money.
Well, the thing is, because
you bought heavily into this team. You did. Yeah. You bought heavily into this team. I liked Jalen Waddle, and that was it.
I would have gone with Laporta here, like I said, if I remember.
I wouldn't have wanted Laporta at that. If it was between Sutton and Laporta, I like Sutton better. Because tight ends at that pick, they're just not. There's better. Like we still have Goddard and Ferguson and Andrews all on the board right now.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Goddard stands out to me, like the most.
Well, they stood out to them too.
Yeah, both of these guys will probably go.
Look, Ferguson will probably have anywhere between 6 to 10 touchdowns and 600 to 800 yards.
I think that's assuming
anybody
no Pickens
who's not Brock Bowers or Warren. That's probably what the stat line looks like.
Assuming no Pickens or Lamb injury, I don't think Ferguson hits 600 yards. I think we're looking at like 500 yards with like 60 catches. The thing is, when both those guys were healthy, he took on a completely different role than what he normally does, and all of a sudden became like this 5 yard curl. That's all.
Yeah,
it
he
was.
looked like Jason Witten instead of like a poor man's Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, like someone like a dynamic pass catcher. He just went into a stationary object in the middle of the field that Dak.
I look like Jason Witten, but that's what Dak Prescott's going to need at this point in his career.
My point is, we got 6 touchdowns and 600 yards across a season where there were injuries to CeeDee Lamb, and it took that for Ferguson to even be as involved. And so I think with a full healthy season for those two receivers, we're not going to see what we saw last year. Even
I hate this whole range.
You
know why I hate that Bo Nix pick? Because Sam Darnold and Cam Ward are right here.
Yeah, but we got the double stack already, so it makes more sense this way. Tracy stands out to me here. 3 running backs. I think he's a good 4th.
Yeah, I don't like Charbs. I don't like any of the other guys either.
Okay, cool. Yeah, quarterbacks are definitely the best picks in these range. And then if you can get him the hype, I like Diggs a lot too here. He's going to be gone by the time he comes back.
Is he signing with anybody?
No, but you know that when he does, it's going to rise. His ADP is going to rise like 20, 30 picks. Because all the receivers before this are like garbage too.
It depends on where he signs. Because if he signs somewhere where they're not starving for receivers, imagine he ends up somewhere like Green Bay where they're solidified receivers.
Imagine Dallas. That's where the rumors are.
On him in Dallas, he comes with actual
problems. And the Cowboys.
My problems with Stephon Diggs are my exact same problems with Kareem Punt and Rashee Rice. Stop hitting people. Like, stop hitting women. Stop doing bad shit. You make so much money to fucking play a game. What are you doing? Like, why are you ruining your life? Why are you so stupid? Be smarter.
I got a quick quip on Diggs after this, but we're about to be on the clock again. 3-4-4-1. Do you want to try and get a second tight end here with Strange, Johnson, or Okonkwo, or do we want to go 5th receiver maybe? Back.
Probably tight end would be the best value here.
Yeah, I like Okonkwo the best from all these guys, though.
Yeah, him or Juwan, whichever one between the two. I like Okonkwo a lot.
Let's go Chig. Both the Week 17 matchups for these guys are great. Okonkwo gets the Jaguars, whereas Johnson
gets. What the fuck
is
Washington playing Jacksonville Week 18 or Week 17? Well, it's Week 17. Never mind. That's why. Yeah. It's Week 17.
Yeah.
It's not. Week 17 isn't the last week of the season anymore. I'm used to it being division matchups in Week 17. Fuck a Chris Rodriguez, bro. That dude got shot, didn't he?
Revenge.
No, that was Brian Robinson.
He's going.
Wait, didn't Chris Rodriguez get shot too?
No, you're thinking of Brian Robinson.
No, I know Brian Robinson got shot, but I thought Chris Rodriguez got shot too.
Did Chris Rodriguez get shot?
I know for sure Brian Robinson did. Something happened to Chris Rodriguez.
Well, when I look up did Chris Rodriguez get shot, I get police reports from Austin and Lubbock and Houston and Vegas. There's a lot of Chris Rodriguez.
There's a lot of Chris Rodriguez. Yeah.
I'm gonna look up did Chris Rodriguez NFL.
Growing up in El Paso, we really should have known that.
It says you may be thinking of his former Commander's teammate, running back.
Okay, so it was just Brian Robinson? Okay, gotcha.
Him and Ricky Pearsall got shot.
Ricky Pearsall! I knew it was a motherfucker who wore red.
Yeah, anybody wearing red, obviously, get shot.
Yeah, Algier, I think he got shot too.
The quick thing on Diggs, did you see that player
Thursday.
video of the locker room interviews where there was like a lighthearted video, but people were just asking different players who they
Yeah,
wouldn't want to date their
who would you
sister.
not let your sister date? And then everybody said Diggs because they all
Literally
knew that he was
everyone
an
in the
actual
locker room says
European
no
garbage
date.
piece of shit who hit people.
And even the chill guys are like, no, there's not really anybody here that I would want to date my sister. And then they think about it and they're like, oh no, wait, Diggs.
So that was Dalvin Cook specifically. He was like, "Oh, I don't Diggs." Like, yeah, because he remembered that Diggs is a piece of shit.
We're on the clock here, 10 seconds. I like McMillan. Probably need a fifth receiver, fifth running back here.
Tesla.
Tesla? Yeah, let's do it. I like that Tesla.
He
Talking
says
about
his name all
8
stupid,
catches
but
for
I
6
fuck with it.
touchdowns. What's that?
He says his name's stupid as shit, but I fuck with it.
Tesla. You got to
Tesla.
really pronounce the 2 A's.
Like, was he so intent on separating himself from, like, maybe Tesla said that he couldn't because it was a branding issue.
That's probably true. That's
They
probably true.
own the rights to the actual pronunciation of his name, so he just had to over enunciate that second A.
Yeah, also, coleslaw in French is Tesla, and they said that he can't be Tesla either, so that's why the 2 A's.
Coleslaw in French is Tesla.
Tesla, yeah.
Something about that seems wrong, but I don't know enough to fact
I
check.
would like to buy a hamburger.
Oh, that sounds real then.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
I would debugger.
Hamburger.
That desperate fucking debugger at the end is probably my favorite line in just about any movie.
One last plea. Got a 3-4-5-2. Probably fifth running backs usually stands out about this range. Tyler Algier, who we both kind of like as a handcuff, but don't really like outside of that tier.
I only like him as a handcuff. I think Kamara could be good if he plays, but we don't know if he's going to play. If he plays, you're getting legitimate RB2 production off a dude who may or may not see the field. I like Singleton's upside, but I don't
like him as much as like Algier or Samson here for that matter. So Algier probably with the fall 20 pick fall, take a chance. He's got the Raiders week 17. If they rest Love,
I don't think they're going to though. They don't rest rookies in week 17. They don't do that.
You could see maybe they get
in week 18. They're not resting a rookie in week 17.
Let me paint you a picture, like a very obvious one that could happen. Who knows?
It's week 17.
Love
they're going to be
it's week 16, and then Jeremiah Love like tweaks his ankle slightly.
Okay, fine.
You know what I mean?
Yes, but if you're betting on a guy getting injured, why the fuck are we looking at their players to begin with?
All of these guys all the running backs remaining are only
they're all
that backs.
The only person I could see being anything is whoever the fuck the backup is for Dallas and whoever the backup is for Philly.
Malik Davis, dude. Oh, I guess Sean Tucker has another goal line role here too. He's also going to get like 6 touchdowns this year.
So if Javonte Williams misses any time, Malik Davis is going to be fucking elite. But
I think he'll be our running back.
There are moments that Malik Davis actually just gets where he's getting like 9 yards a carry.
Yeah, I like him. I think if you want to, we can save that last running back spot for the end of the draft. We have 5 so far.
Because he's not getting drafted in any league that I've seen to this point in time. Like he hasn't been touched at all.
Queue him up for the end, way end, and that'll let us get better receivers and tight ends earlier on.
And that's because if we're already playing the handcuff game, let's just play the handcuff game with guys that we know can pop if they get a real chance. And you're already, and this would double down on your logic for Javonte Williams as well. You don't believe that he's explosive. You think that he was a little hurt at the end of last year. Maybe Malik Davis just gets a little more work because of that.
I look at Javonte as like, I don't know, at least the way he was moving last year. I think he's like less safe Kyren. I think you can plan on a touchdown a game.
No, Javonte is the highest echelon of RB2.
What do you mean by RB2? Like, do you mean fantasy?
Fantasy RB2. Fantasy RB2.
Or like real life on the depth
real
chart.
Life RB1, fantasy RB2. You are not drafting Javonte Williams in the first round. Nobody's doing it. You're drafting him in the 4th and the 5th.
Yeah, I'd rather have Montgomery than Javonte. I think.
That's RB2. Montgomery is perfect RB2.
Yeah.
But Montgomery
So on
is
the
always
clock again here. Do you want to go Ridley, Ayuk, Jerry Jeudy, Tank Dell?
Tank Dell probably.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I like Jeudy a lot, but we don't know what's going to go on with the quarterback situation in Cleveland.
Didn't give us a tight end view too. Sorry. But it's okay. All the tight ends sucked here anyways. Stowers, Parkinson, Ferguson, Dulcich.
Yeah, they're all dog shit. Don't we have 2 tight ends anyway?
We have 2 so far. They were kind of drafted late, so we can certainly use one more. We should get one more. Kincaid and Okonkwo. I like the touchdown and upset of both those guys though.
If Cade Otton's still on the board, yeah, but I don't like any of the other tight ends that are left.
He's not. Otton's not on the board anymore.
Yeah,
I
look at
think
this
Dulcich
nonsense.
is going to be
Yeah,
the starter of
Dulcich.
Miami. What?
Yeah, that was my condescending. Who are we gonna get? Dulcich, and you were like, we could get Dulcich.
Well, if we wait 2 more rounds, I think let's make this like the second to last pick, and at worst we settle for like a 60 year.
I think tight end should be second to last pick because if we're gonna go Flyers, we may as well just go Flyers later. Let's get value where we can get it.
Maybe so who else your receiver? Ridley, Ayuk, Jeudy. Got Malachi Fields a little later.
I like Malachi Fields at this range, to be honest, and we're not reaching on him a little too much.
Above Ridley, above Ayuk, above Jeudy.
I like Malachi Fields a little better than Ridley, to be honest, just because we're getting the unknown. I know what Calvin Ridley is going to do. He's going to get 5 targets a game. He's going to drop 2 of them. Okay. I don't know what the 3 catches will look like. So I like Malachi Fields as an upside candidate just because I like Jackson Dart anyway, and you like Cam Scatterbo to do something nice. I think Malachi Fields benefits from all of that plus Malik Neighbors. And
he has on the field because he's so big, he can run block. So, and I know the Giants are going to want to pound the rock right under.
That's why they go. That's why they drafted him, and they drafted him in the 3rd round too. So it's not like they're just flying on him. The 3rd round pick for receivers is where you think you're getting your actual wide receiver too. It's most teams who draft in the 3rd round. That's what they're drafting there. This is our second guy. We've got our guy number 1, and they do in Malik Neighbors. So if he works out well, I think Malachi Fields is going to be not George Pickens level wide receiver 2, but he'll be among the most talked about wide receiver 2s in the league.
You could see even the higher ceiling for him, like a glimpse. Now, all the conditionals make it to where he can't be a true receiver 1. By that, his situation, I just mean Jackson Dart throwing you the ball is going to really prevent you. It's going to hamstring Malik Neighbors, and then we're going to be frustrated with him for some part of the season. Harbaugh as a head coach, also frustrating the same way that like Zay Flowers, for example, is never going to be like the actual like true like top 10 scorer on the season. It's very hard to see that anyways. But Malik on the opposite end, Malachi Fields is like what 6'4", 240 pounds. Guy moves very fast. He can catch well enough. He's a very explosive receiver. On top of being good in the run game, and that's going to put him on the field. What else is going to put him on the field a lot? Well, Malik Neighbors likely ending up on the pup, like going to miss first 4 games of the season. Malachi Fields can establish himself a bit. And who's he competing against? Darnell Mooney, Darius Slayton, guys that have had some varying degrees of success in the NFL, both deeper ex-receivers. Malachi's bigger, probably a better run blocker than both those guys. And, like I said, he's got to have the vacuum. Right away.
Targets for Notre Dame came about 15 to 20 yards down the field. We had to put just big body possessions on him too. The one thing I didn't notice too much about him was yards after catch. Maybe I missed a lot of it, but from what I saw, it was a lot of the Tyler Lockett type. I catch the ball, I'm getting tackled.
The last Notre Dame season is kind of hard to judge too because it was a Jeremiah Love and Price show, so they were just on the ground and run blocking anyways.
Well, I mean that's why him being able to have any success was as impressive as it was.
Receiver,
I don't know who to pick here. It's all trash.
All right, I'm gonna get your guy Christian Kirk that you harped on so much last draft.
It's nothing wrong with Christian Kirk. It's everything wrong with San Francisco as a team that can keep players healthy for the whole season. If he's healthy, then Christian Kirk will be fine. But that's all he'll be is fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Look at that game against Washington. Fuck yeah, dude, pick him up.
Dude, this anybody could do against Commanders last year. This Chiefs game though is pretty impressive, right? This is like Kansas City, heart of the season when they need it. Both teams still very much in the running, and yeah, he gets in there and he's able to do that. Also, I like this receiving involvement here. That's
well,
really
he doesn't get a lot of opportunities, but when the opportunities come his way, he definitely makes the most of them. And pretty much
every guy is the starter if Javonte goes down. That is for sure. So I would still much rather prefer Tucker. Not
doesn't
Gordon.
Tucker have 3 guys? Like, isn't he the 3rd guy in line?
He's the 3rd guy in a committee, but he's already got the goal line role. And if Bucky went down, he'd probably be the main running back there because Rachaad White's not good. And he's more of a pass catcher anyway. He play more of the pass downs. So I see Sean Tucker's having a more.
Did they just bring in Gainwell?
And they brought in Gainwell as well. Yeah.
It's just a crowded backfield.
I'm thinking of Rachaad White with the Commanders.
It's like if it's not Bucky Irving, I don't like any part of that backfield.
So we're on 3rd tight end part. I think my preference is Tonjes here.
Another San Francisco player. Get off the 49ers.
Okay, we're going Komet again. Did I get him? Yeah, we got him.
Should have picked Trig.
I like this dog. Oh, fuck. That was Jets number 2. I'm sorry. I forgot about Trig again.
Should have picked Trig.
Forgot about Trig.
It would have made the most sense in this draft because we have Dak as our quarterback. And we didn't get any.
I hope I'm not missing out on anything. I really don't think I am, but maybe
we didn't get a single piece of Cowboys pass catching
with Dak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have Malik Davis as our last pick, so we really probably should have gone Trig on that one.
That's all right. Malik Davis is just gonna catch 6 touchdowns for us at the back.
But okay, on the other hand, though, like player for player, if it wasn't for the stack, I do think that Cole Kmet's gonna have a better season than Trig.
Yeah.
So, fuck the stack.
This back end tight ends are really rough.
It's just hard to guess at who's going to do anything, bro, because they're all dependent on injuries. Every single one of them.
Yeah, Tonjes is.
And this dude's starting with a Q. Fuck that.
Yeah. Theo Johnson's got to compete with Isaiah Likely now. Darnell Washington's got his own role. He's huge, but, what's he actually going to do on Pittsburgh? Delp I'm most excited about because it's just Juwan Johnson out of him who's really old, but still he needs like an injury or something to happen. He signed a 2-year contract with the Rams inexplicably. I can't understand this contract.
I don't understand how they fell off so hard. Higbee and Dawson Knox, both of them, just like in the same season too, they both stopped being useful.
I think Higbee got hurt, but still, like the Rams had 5 tight ends. They had 4. They signed Higbee on the contract extension. That was number 4, and then they drafted Max Clare in like the 2nd round.
Well, they drafted Ty Simpson in the 1st, so
yeah, I know that was the stupidest.
That should tell you everything you need to know about what the Rams are doing in the front office, which is fuck all. They're not trying to win a Super Bowl right now. They're trying to prepare for the next generation.
Man, I was so sure we were going to get sniped on Malik Davis, but no, he just fell with some dumbass took Marshawn Lloyd before. Like, I can't say anything whatsoever. Marshawn Lloyd has this whole lore goo. He's, if you ever look up his athleticism, all that kind of stuff, you'll find a prospect you really like and can get super excited about. And I was very excited 2 years ago as when he was a rookie. It's taking him all over the place. He was going to be like Jacobs, like backup and stuff. And then he got hurt before the season started and basically continued to get hurt in every conceivable way.
What's his name?
Marshawn Lloyd.
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Wood?
Lloyd.
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 Is that like Pinocchio wood? Like
Like
Pinocchio's made out of
Lloyd
wood?
with two
He came
L's.
from USC. No shit, he was gonna get hurt in the NFL. I don't know why
That
people
mean?
look. Here's my thing. I am a huge fan of what USC does in college, but these dudes get to the NFL and they get hurt. All of them, starting with Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, they get to the NFL and they get hurt.
Was Amon-Ra USC?
I don't remember, but if he was, then he's the exception that proves the
And
rule.
he's about to get hurt.
If he's the exception that proves the rule rather than the one who falls in line.
Did Reggie Bush get hurt?
Reggie Bush got hurt a lot.
Yeah. That's a shame.
He might have Amon-Ra might have come out of USC. I really don't know.
Does that mean Caleb Williams is getting hurt?
Caleb Williams is a quarterback. It's different for them.
Oh, okay. But didn't you just say Matt Leinart got hurt?
Yeah, but Matt Leinart was a backup quarterback, so it doesn't count.
So it's different for him.
I'm moving the goalposts as I go, but
yeah. That sounds about right. Oh, that's what I'm experiencing.
But okay. This is what proves me correct. So we're gonna go.
I'll do a quick team recap, and then if I get your thoughts on it. So we got Dak Prescott unstacked, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs as top running backs, receivers Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Dalton Kincaid, Jadarian Price as a flex, and then Courtland Sutton for added depth at receiver, Matt Stafford, Bo Nix, both stacked, both falling at ADP. Maybe, arguable for a team what the impact was, but great overall. Tyrone Tracy, Chico Okonkwo, Tesla, Tyler Algier, Tank Dell, Malachi Fields,
wasn't ready for that.
Cole Kmet, and Malik Davis rounds it out. Goo, your thoughts?
We got a dude named Malachi and a dude named Malik. We're probably gonna win it all.
That's true. We got the double Malik factor.
Look, I brought it up the last time. Pretty much everybody I know who's named Malachi and also plays a sport is really, really good at the sport that they play. Like Malachi,
or really good at farming. One of the two, 50% chance.
That's true. Growing a beard, a really
5% chance of being an epic rapper.
Wearing a hat, big old
hat. Yeah, as a rapper or the farmer, either way.
They might fix your car for free for you, depending on if you believe that movie Sex Drive or not.
I usually default to believing that movie.
I don't know if you remember that, but Seth Green played an Amish dude.
He's good at car mechanic work.
Yeah, they were really good at all the manual labor stuff.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And it was Seth Green, so he was Seth Green about it.
Yeah, so I think Malik maxing and Malik maxing is going to go pretty well for us.
Yep.
Look, we have a lot of J's on this team.
Here's the real rub. We drafted a lot of really consistent players up at the front, and we took a lot of flyers late. Not as many as we did in the last draft, but this Broncos stack,
yeah,
I don't know about.
No, that was chilling.
Any 49ers player, I'm off of all of them. I don't want any part of them until they can figure out their curse or their electrical field problem or whatever the hell it is that's causing all those injuries. Huge fan of Cole Kmet. I don't know if he's going to be as involved in the offense as he has been in years past, but hopefully for us, he is. Tank Dell, I'm excited about for sure. If he's healthy, he's going to be a fantastic grab for us there at 190.
Absolute smash at 190 if he's healthy. Just ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if we get 10 games out of Tank Dell at 190, I think we fucking stole him.
Yeah.
Okonkwo, I am confident in to have a few games here and there where he's going to give us some good production, but I don't know about the season-long floor.
I mean, he's still pretty. He was pretty good for a tight end last year with the Titans. Now he's about to get Jaden Daniels in a way better offense. So,
well, assuming Jaden Daniels is healthy, but yeah, I agree. That being said, he was part of that drop compilation last year, so maybe the better quarterback play might not be a thing. We'll see. Other than that, I mean, Algier, there's it's handcuff. Malik Davis, it's handcuff. Tracy, handcuff. The quarterbacks I'm really excited about that we drafted. I'm a little less excited about Bo Nix, but Dak and Matt Stafford are so strong. In a best ball lineup, I doubt we'll see any Bo Nix really. I like this team overall, man. The running backs are definitely the thing to write home about. Even our late round picks and Tracy and Malik Davis both have ability to be at like the actual bell cow for their teams, assuming injuries take place.
Yeah, Tracy's got like starter value already because he's got to be handling some of that pass down where he's got to be on the field like 40% of the time probably.
Yeah, and we know Scat's definitely gonna be dealing with some shit at some point in time because he runs with his head parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I don't want Javonte Williams to get hurt. What I want to happen is Dallas to switch it to like a 60-40 split. Like that Zeke Elliott, Tony Pollard split that we saw the last year that Zeke had about 900 yards.
Yeah.
If we see something like that split this year, I'm a big fan of what Dallas' ceiling as an offense is. Going into if the postseason happens, especially because we'll have two fresher running backs going in, which we've seen be so vital to these deep runs.
I like Dallas. Go ahead.
Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, JSN, all good. Can't miss.
Yeah, like so Derrick Henry against the Bengals week 17, I think is going to win people a lot of money this year. Dak getting to face the New York Giants, and then by extension, having our running back, the backup running back, go against.
Depending on who we're playing at that time, well, I don't know. Week 17 is a little dicey for the Cowboys because are we playing for position?
We usually need that win.
Have we already given up on the season?
We saw Malik Davis in the same running back room last year at this point and still be heavily involved. That was against a team in a game we didn't need, but that is certainly possible this year against the Giants. We do have that bring back here. There's a lot of with Malachi Fields, but there's a lot of week 17 we got a lot of back and forth for that week in particular. I think you're spot on about the running back room. This is super strong. The quarterback room is as good as it gets pretty much, unless you went like Allen and Lamar or something. But these three quarterbacks in the middle rounds, like in a 20-round fantasy draft, most of them they're all technically stacked, but some of them are really stacked. And then we didn't suffer at any position either. Like tight ends, we'd tempted to say we're weaker, but like Kincaid's basically the leading slot receiver for the Bills. And he's got touchdown upside because they don't have that many bigger body receivers there because they only have slot receivers for the Bills. And then Okonkwo, he doesn't have any competition at tight end. They're letting Zach Ertz go. Got one more name there. I can't remember. It's not a very established guy. But, the receiving room led by McLaurin alone. Probably a couple steps back in reduction for target competition there. So, yeah, I like our tight end room a lot. And then Cole Kmet, we're straight up just asking him to do this.
Yeah.
2-3 times.
Just have a touchdown or two every now and then, buddy. We'll be okay.
When you have the touchdown, don't make it your only catch of the game like you did against Dallas, like you did against Minnesota. Oh, I guess that wasn't Minnesota's game. But, yeah, like we just need you to have one touchdown, 2 catches, 30 yards.
Yeah, two catches will be all right.
That's it.
I mean, like I said, it's the same with the Bo Nix situation in a best ball league where we have the options that we have ahead of them. I doubt we'll even see a lot of weeks where there are leading players.
I just disagree. Just because I've seen the parity of a lot of these players, especially a quarterback. Like it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw in this breakdown not a 30-30-30 split, but something pretty close. Probably like a 30-40. How does the math work? a 35, 35, 40.
I just
something
don't
like that.
see it with Bo Nix.
He's a good quarter. Look at some of these ceiling outcomes here, man. Like this was against Green Bay, which is really tough to do. They're a good defense, and he's got 20s. He got
There's a
40 points.
40 against the Giants, which is pretty dope.
30 against the Bengals. He's going to play his bad defenses too, and he's got a good floor.
I don't know. That's
been
230 bombs on the season, and outside of that,
bomb.
not really. And 140 bomb, and outside of that, not really a whole lot.
No, but then this 25-point game in the playoffs.
But so that's what I'm saying is I don't think that I don't know. I don't believe in the Broncos at all. I don't believe in Sean Payton. I don't believe in the Broncos.
Well, you said, look, 140 point and 230 points isn't that good, but Dak did the same thing. Like, here's a 30. This is kind of a 30. 130 here. So
yeah, but he's got a lot more over.
And no 40s.
Yeah, but he's got a lot more over 20s though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Dak can be the.
He's got a lot more over 20s.
If you and I are just talking about what ends up on this roster, then really we just need the spikes.
Well, if we're talking about the pop of all pops, go click on our boy Matt Staff, man.
Yeah,
I want to talk about some
the
pops.
Real. Yeah, 30, basically 30, basically 30.
Averaging what, 25, 22 a
30,
game? Yeah.
Basically 30s and 130. Yeah, so Stafford's actually going to be leading this. He's not going to do this year again, though.
Fuck if you know, bro.
He had some
playoffs probably his last. It's for sure his last year with the Rams. This is probably his last year playing football. I think this dude is going to come out throwing the ball a fuck ton. Now, whether he throws 52 and 9, I don't know, but that yardage can very easily stay the same.
Subtract 6 touchdowns and 800 yards for the postseason, and that still puts you at let's just round down even 4,500 passing yards. 46 touchdowns. That is still insane.
Yeah, that was Dak Prescott's season last year. So
still insane. Yeah, no, he's great. No, okay, so you're right. Like if Nix didn't fall 20 picks, we wouldn't have him on this team. We definitely didn't need him.
No, we didn't. And if we were going to
have him instead,
I am glad that if we did go three quarterbacks, that Bo Nix was there when we wanted him. Because we usually end up with somebody like Cam Ward, who I do believe in, but I don't know if there's a 40-point pop in him. You know what I mean?
The only thing is, like, who are you taking besides who are we taking besides Nix? Well, who goes after him here?
Well, in a regular fantasy, I'd be running.
I guess Mason.
You know what? Here's the thing: this CJ Stroud pickup might turn out to be a little bit better than people are thinking. Maybe you wait a little bit for Mendoza down here.
I think Stroud will be better than he was last year, but I still think it's going to be not that great. Now, where he goes in drafts, yeah, I got a lot of Stroud. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's where he goes, and because you asked who do you take if we didn't take Bo Nix, you wait on Stafford or you wait on CJ Stroud, you wait on Fernando Mendoza. You can wait probably for Cam Ward, who I think will probably pop the most out of this range.
Yeah. And Darnold, too, is just old reliable back there. I think I would have taken Jordan Mason for our team better. Just to have a slightly better running back room than leaving who do we end up getting instead?
We wound up waiting until we got Malik Davis at the end.
We knew we were gonna take that pick about halfway through the draft.
It was Tracy.
It was just Tracy, yeah. So I'd rather have Jordan Mason than Tyron Tracy, that's for sure. But I don't know. You can argue the other one. I know you don't like. Yeah, I know you don't like Mason or the Vikings in general because of Kyler Murray. So
well, I like the running game in Minnesota. I don't like the passing game in Minnesota. I don't want the pass catchers, which is why I want Aaron Jones.
Yeah, so in that case, I'd rather have either Aaron Jones or Mason. But Mason did actually go after Tracy in this draft, so we could have had Mason here instead. And yeah, if that 2v2 of Mason Stroud, I think is stronger than Nix Tracy for our team. In a vacuum, I think that could easily break either way. Like the edge is definitely to Nix over Stroud. Whereas Tracy and Mason in a full point PPR site that's pretty debatable. Because this
Yeah.
guy has some ceiling, but he also, because of that pass catching, has a floor baked in on the side. Like
Look at that
his
game
bad
against
games really aren't like
How did he do
the
against
worst.
Dallas? He didn't do shit against Dallas, did he?
5 targets, 4 catches, and 36 yards. We had nothing on the ground.
Oh, but in
This
a
was,
PPR,
yeah. Scatabo hadn't really taken over yet, so this was, I think, like the Singletary hodgepodge. What a game this was! This was Russell Wilson's 5 touch,
oh
5,
yeah,
I think, or something.
his swan song, dog.
Yeah, I can't believe he got benched like 3 games after that. That was
That was
crazy. I needed
stupid.
10. I was just taking Russell last year, knowing he was going to get benched, and still expecting him to make it through the bye week. I just need him to get through like week 8. And that
I
guy's
wasn't expecting him to get benched at all last year. When I saw him open up the season the way that he did, I thought New York had a real chance to do something like
I
throughout the
never
season.
thought they could be something, but I didn't think he'd get benched. Like, yeah, when he had that game, I didn't think he was going to get benched for a long time, but I knew he'd at least make it to the bye week, or at least I thought I did.
That was
And
wild.
now he just
They
died.
were like, "Fuck that, we're going with the young bucks."
It's because
I was like, I mean,
Russell
I get
sucked.
it, but I also didn't really get it.
And that just means our defense was that bad last year to let that happen. And that was before we even got hurt, so we're actually falling apart.
Dude, we were horrible. But that was before the Quinn Williams trade. That was before we cut Diggs. That was before before we made all the moves.
That. We needed that reload. That was cool.
That I think the cutting of Diggs might have been a little premature, but I don't miss him all that much, but I think it was premature. I think he just missed Micah.
Yeah.
And he just didn't
perform for what he did. We never really rebuilt without him. We just don't have the guys yet. We'll get there.
Dude, I don't know what you're watching, but it's because you don't believe in Caleb Downs. That's right. But the defense is literally the defense is going to go from 32 to 18, and I don't think you realize how big of a difference that is.
Well, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Caleb Downs is what everyone says he is.
It's a one-season jump. That is it, but it's not even just him. It's a full offseason with Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. It's Osa being gone, but we did bring in like 3 different replacements, all of whom are at that level.
Overshaw healthy.
There's an extra linebacker that we brought in from Green Bay, Rashawn Gary, I think.
Yeah.
There's Malachi Lawrence in the draft. There's a lot. So essentially the Osa trade turned into Malachi Lawrence because we drafted him with that pick. That's what it was.
I'll take it. No, I think
so. It's not only a retool, but we got younger and we got a lot faster, and we stayed just as thick in the middle because we locked down Big Q and Big Kenny.
Well, for our purposes in this team, I hope Malachi Fields runs all over our defense. Week 17.
Well, I want Malachi Fields to have a solid season, but I don't want it to come at the cost of my actual mental health, because that is tied directly to the Cowboys right now.
So hopefully we're competitive this year. We'll be competitive.
So that's the thing. My mental health is not tied to the Cowboys winning. It's just tied to one single part of their team playing well enough that I can latch on to that, and maybe we can build on that next year. And I'll just keep hanging on to that delusion year after, like a sourdough.
That's a sourdough starter. Yeah.
Yeah, like a sourdough culture. Kind of like that. Dak Prescott right now is my Dallas Cowboys sourdough culture, the way that Tony Romo was. I will carry my love for Dak Prescott into the next year and the next year and the next year and the next year until eventually it becomes a completely different culture, probably whoever his successor is, the way he was for Tony Romo.
Yeah, and in the end, it's all just bacteria digesting stuff and producing gas.
Yep. At what point in time is it always the original culture, or is it like Theseus' ship?
And I think in that analogy, it's always going to be Theseus' ship. It's always going to be a new conglomeration of bacteria that may or may not include any of the original organisms.
Well, that should include the original. That's why you kept the original to begin with.
Well, what I mean is the original bacteria themselves, the bacterium or whatever, there may or may not be an actual 100-year-old bacterium that's in there, but like it
You
it
think it could be
could.
like 45 years old instead of 100?
I don't know how long they live. Like, I guess we look this up.
Well, I think the oldest sourdough's actually been going for several hundred years, but I could be wrong about that.
Sourdough starter. This is the oldest bacteria die. There's like so many ways to phrase that question. I have
Holy
one of the
shit.
dumbest ones.
It's 4,500 years old and it was revived in 2020.
4,500.
I'd eat it.
would.
I'd eat the fuck out of it, really. I'd probably eat a whole loaf of it. I fucking love sourdough bread.
It ain't ironic. I love Rugrats.
It looks like 1780 is like without them having to revive it.
I don't know about the age of it, but according to Google, the oldest individual bacteria and yeast cells die constantly, as their lifespans are measured in days. However, the lineage or community carries forward.
So what we're getting is the spawn of the original bacteria.
Yeah, you're getting all the Like
We're getting its descendants.
Yes, yeah, we are co-evolving with these.
Wait, so if I'm understanding this sentence right here in constant turnover, we are also Theseus' ship.
Oh yeah, that's philosophically known. People have known. We've always known that. Well, since we discovered cells, anyways, there's no like original parts of you, like original cells left. I don't know if that's true. I think let's see. Let's look at that. Like what cells are staying in the human body since birth? Yeah, never replaced. There are a few. There we go. Neurons are with you forever. Mature heart muscle cells are in there forever, so you're screwed after a certain age. This is one I think I knew about, the inner ear ones. Because once that's gone, it's gone.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then the lens cells of the eye, so that makes sense too. But yeah, so you're almost a Daisy ship, but the neurons being the most important there, I think, to determining what we would call a person, what we normally define as a person.
So I was just about to say, it seems like only the superficial stuff is the Theseus' ship. All the important stuff is.
Well, it depends what you mean,
hardware.
because if we're talking about a human being as this conglomerate of behavior plus experience, or behavior plus feelings plus like relationships, some collage of an inner and an outer experience. If you lose your hearing, that's going to enable a whole bunch of different experiences and disable them, to where you could say, yeah, it's a surface, that's the outside of you that's changing, but it's because you're interacting with the world in a different way. You're, at least in an effect, everyone is going to think perceive you a little differently, and they're going to have different experiences and be able to do different things with you, to where they will feel differently. So this is actually pretty powerful in shaping an identity, or what people would think about an identity, I think. And you could say the same thing about the heart, like deficiencies that could develop later on. And of course, if you can't see, that's a much different set of relationships and understandings of the world. But we are so far away from football at this point, and I need to go to bed.
I was just thinking that too. I was like, damn, how did we get to this? But it's because Dak Prescott is my sourdough of the Dallas Cowboys, and then that started the Is It Theseus' ship, which started on our body.
Yep.
It's nice to be able to follow the train of events every now and then. This is all to say that we drafted a couple pretty exciting teams today, and hopefully they can do some really good stuff for us all season long. but we will see how they turn out. We did take a lot of late round chances, a lot of handcuffs, a lot of that nonsense. So we'll see how it goes late into the season.
Yeah, really solid teams tonight. Kind of all sharing the same structure. These early powerhouse running backs, very well balanced overall. Though the second to last team was really unbalanced at receiver specifically, where we had like 4 through the first.
4 of our first 5 picks were running backs.
Yeah, and then 4 receivers came in the top 10 rounds, but we waited for 5 receivers for the last 15 rounds or something, or the last 5 receivers over the last 10 or something.
Don't get us wrong on that, though. There's still a lot of upside for those guys late.
Yeah, and so we've typically been waiting on tight ends too. So the Bowers pick earlier than our first team was a lot different.
Yeah, we went pass catcher heavy, but we didn't necessarily go receiver heavy.
Yeah, and that, we had the Bowers pick first
too, if I remember right.
I also like the just the draft positional value. We've allowed that to shape our teams more than having like a preconception of what a team should look like. So, like the Bo Nix pick was an example of that. We did a Lemon. Malachi Lemon, or what's Jesus?
Makai Lemon. But yeah, so there's a
Malachi.
Yeah, there's Makai you'll hear me talk about it a lot in like my solo stuff, but there's a point in the draft when I just go like based off the vibes. And what I mean by that is it's ADP plus do I feel good about this dude or not? So there's guys like any 49ers player at their ADP, I don't like them. I don't like them. I think you can wait on somebody who's going to be more reliable, who's going to play 17, 18 games or 17 games and give you what you need. But it's really when you get to those middle rounds and you don't have names that you're super comfortable with and you're having to start to look around the board and scroll down a page or two and start to look for some deep cuts here and there. It really is just guys that you're confident in at that point. And I think you drafted pretty well in that, getting guys like Courtland Sutton, middle rounds of the draft. You went after Tracy. I know you liked him because he's got the upside being Scat's backup, plus the passing game already.
It's the starting. It's the fact that he has that value starting, and then
right. He's got that PPR stuff, but that's what I'm saying. It was the confidence that you had in his production, plus the situation that he had going on around him. And when you start to get into those middle to late rounds of the drafts, that's really what you got to be looking for if you want to have confidence in your team late in the season.
All right, man. I'm going to go pass out for as long as the baby lets me. I'll probably be up in 30 minutes to change a diaper.
Jesus, just change it now.
If he's asleep, you just let it ride. Amy will let me know if I need to wake up for it. Yeah.
We have the same philosophy going with grandma here. If she's asleep, you don't wake her to change her diapers. You just let her sleep.
The thing about the baby though is you do have to wake them up every 2 to 3 hours to feed because they'll lose weight if you don't. So you just have to give them.
So will your grandma too.
Yeah.
But it's not as alarming if your grandma loses weight because she's 99. But
well, she can at least make up for it in like a big meal on one. Like the adult human body does that.
Ton of ice cream.
Ton of ice cream is
what we do.
Or a lot of something.
If she misses a couple meals in a day, we just go with the calorie overload because like she really won't eat enough solid foods. You're kind of stuck just trying to get as many calories in a condensed way as possible.
Like a bodybuilder trying to eat responsibly.
So we blend a ton of soup. Like she drinks a ton of soup and stews. In the morning, she eats a lot of good stuff, though. She's a little stronger, has a little more energy.
Yeah.
But as the day goes on, she just doesn't want to swallow. So we got to give her stuff that makes that easy. Kind of like a baby, except I didn't get to do any of the fun stuff that leads to a baby. I just ended up taking care of her.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's cool stuff, man. Yeah. It's the situations we're in, and this is the stuff that brings us together as people.
That and drafting really good teams.
Same but not same, you know?
Yeah, not the same.
Same but not same, but not same.
Yeah.
Community.
Less Malakais.
Less Malachis. No, more Malachis. You need more Malachis. If there's one thing that's true in the world, it's that the NFL needs more dudes named Malachi.
The NFL for sure.
Malachi Tony's on his way.
Malachi Tony.
Yeah, not related to Kadarius Toney. I already checked.
Are you kidding? Kadarius Toney
is not related to Malachi Tony. Yeah, I know.
I'm quoting something, but it's so niche within the best ball space. Don't even worry about it.
I'm not going to get that at all.
Yeah.
I know Kadarius Toney had about 3 seasons where it looked like he could just, this was going to be the year. This was going to be the year. It was like a Kyle Pitts situation.
He did that from one game, dude. I could talk about Kadarius Toney. He got me. He got me. I was a 3 season.
Oh, did you buy in on Kadarius Toney? I'll be honest. When he went to Kansas City, I bought hard when he went to Kansas City.
I picked him up off waivers for that because he had like a small breakout before the big game, like the 180-yard game.
Yeah.
And I had him for that game. And so I was like a full fish on the hook, man. Like
SpongeBob and Patrick jumping onto the hooks.
No, it still paid off though, because the Super Bowl, the year that the Chiefs win, he scored a touchdown in that game, and I think I made some money on DraftKings that night because I made like a couple $100 or something. Because I had to line up with
Kadarius.
Yeah, he was in there.
Touchdown. Like
no, he was in the DraftKings, like the showdown.
Oh, the showdown. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember for some absurd reason
and stuff like that.
The 49ers said that was the year the Niners had been like talked about the ass on their defense and stuff. And really they had just squeaked by Green Bay, Detroit, not squeaked by, but like they weren't convincing to me. And then everyone spent the whole year talking about talking about how Mahomes sucked.
If I remember that right, didn't their best linebacker tear his Achilles on the sideline in the Super Bowl?
That was the same year.
But it was in the Super Bowl, I think. I think it happened in the Super Bowl.
Oh, you're right. I think you're right.
So that changed a lot of what the game probably would have looked like. I think it was Dre Greenlaw.
It was just going into it like the basically everyone and their mother knew the 49ers are going to win this game and they're going to put up 40 points doing it. And Mahomes was going to struggle passing because that's what he had done the entire last year. And I knew that the 49ers were fake on defense and that they went up against Mahomes. They were going to get challenged because Mahomes, like when he needs it, is Mahomes. And that defense wasn't as good. And so, I just played like a Mahomes triple stack. And that was good enough for a lot of money that night. I didn't have the nuts because you needed some ridiculous combo. I think it was like Tony Captain. Because he had the touchdown, and then you had to have all those other pieces around it. But
the picking Super Bowls and championship games, for that matter, are a bit of a clusterfuck because you kind of just
crushed it last year, man. Your Kenneth Walker captain called. Yeah,
dude, I told everybody and their fucking mother that Kenny Walker.
I made it grand that night. I'm not complaining about shit.
But that was. I had so much I don't even know how to explain where this confidence came from, but it was knowing that the Seahawks were thin at running back and that JSN was too obvious of a choice for Super Bowl MVP. Sam Darnold was too much of a dark horse, and no one on the defense was really gonna separate themselves.
You should have 2 touchdowns on defense.
So that's exactly it. You have to be what was it? 2 pick sixes, Larry,
or forced fumble that gets converted to a touchdown, plus multiple tackles for a
right. It's got to be sacks, forced fumbles, TFLs, turnovers. It's got to be just the most dominating performance ever. And I didn't think any one player would do that for Seattle.
Yeah.
So it was process of elimination. you're going to end up with wide receiver 3 or Kenny Walker, who was the actual legs of that offense. I know everybody wants to give Sam Darnold his credit, and as well he should get it. He played phenomenal down the stretch for him, but that really was on the legs of Kenny Walker that they made their playoff run and their Super Bowl run.
That was interesting.
Well, their defense, but their defense goes without saying. But
it was
defense
just interesting because the Patriots, like, they had some of the best secondary defensively, but their rush defense was what they were known for.
Dog shit.
It was the number one rush defense against some good teams. They stymied actual good running backs.
Dog shit. They were trash.
Like I said, I didn't buy plenty from the night.
The way that you didn't buy the 49ers the year they played the Chiefs, I didn't buy the Patriots a lick last year, bro. I thought the Patriots just pansy caked their way to a Super Bowl, dude.
The thing is, I'd agree, but they shut down running backs like Jonathan Taylor, who at the time was like peaking, like healthy Colts. They had shut
was
down.
It a healthy Colts or was it a post Daniel Jones injury?
No, healthy Colts, and there was some good. There were just good rushing attacks. They completely neutral, or maybe it was they neutralized everyone but Taylor. But all I'm trying to say is like they had been challenged. They rose up. It wasn't the Super Bowl, but
I thought Seattle was a better equipped team than anybody else they'd faced throughout the year as well. Let's be honest, Seattle's defense was going to have their way with whatever New England was doing on offense anyway. And
the moment was bigger than Drake May. Like, that was clear.
Yeah.
It was just too big for him.
And Seattle was just – dude, you could see his face walking into the stadium that day. He did not look ready at all.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever seen that before, really.
Well, I saw that a week before or 2 weeks before in Denver.
Well, here's the thing. Patriots were fake as fuck last year anyway. They had the easiest regular season plus postseason schedule by far. I think they had a combined 322 win percentage, like opponents' win percentage.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Like, that means they're not winning. What is the third of games in the NFL? There's 17 games. So what is that? You didn't win 5 games.
It was astounding how easy their schedule was last year. There's some weird schedules too this year.
And then their luck, I don't know how Omar predicted it, but their luck continued into the playoffs because they played a Bo Nix-less Broncos. They played I can't win in the postseason Justin Herbert.
Same thing for Stroud.
Stroud
on there too, yeah.
Stroud, my bad. Yeah. They played.
It was all 3 of no, you're right. There was that.
Was it all 3 of them?
Stroud, then Nix. Yeah.
They played. I have no team. Justin Herbert. They played. I can't win in the postseason.
Fakest run of all time. And in the meantime, you got Darnold on the other side. So of course, everyone's setting up the Patriots like they have a shot. They have a shot. But meanwhile, like all the bets I'm placing before are Seahawks double-digit spread.
Yeah, every bet should have been Seahawks by double digits. Every bet should have been. Whoever was betting on the Patriots, whoever legitimately thought the Patriots had a chance in that game, just severely has a drought in like the area in your brain where you're supposed to hold football knowledge. There's nothing in there floating around.
Actually, I think
if you thought the Patriots were going to win.
Where I myself got in trouble was after about a week of analysis, and Bruce and I sent a text before the right as soon as the AFC Championship ended, basically, and it was like, well, now the Seahawks are about to win by 14 points.
Yeah, easy.
And then that's what I sent him, and then he sends me, yeah, you're right, this is going to be the most boring Super Bowl ever. We sent that the AFC Championship night, and then for 2 weeks, I kept telling myself all the other ways that wasn't going to happen, because that's what happens in the analysis and the lead up to, especially games like that. You like talk it through, and then okay, well, what if this happens? And then the Patriots did have a good rush defense.
Yeah, you could see
where they're relying on the run. What if they can stymie up the run game enough for Darnold to force some mistakes? And then you got Christian Gonzalez on the back end, 2 pretty good. Like you can tell the story, and then Drake May is not great, but what if they do enough and the defense puts it like you can see them not losing by double digits in all possible outcomes. I did think it was going to be closer to like a 20-10 game than it was going to be what it ended up being. but then like the Patriots fell apart. They actually fell apart, and yeah, like a lot of the stuff I bet and banked still paid off because the basic thesis was right. I just thought the Patriots could keep it a little closer. It turned out
Yeah.
that wasn't the bad thing because I ended up with Ramondre in a few places, and then so I got like third place in
That's fun. It's like really as long as you faded Drake May in the game, you were probably going to be okay. If you faded Drake
there's no
May,
way you could play May.
Kenny
You couldn't
Walker.
play May.
Yeah.
There's no way you could play him. Yeah.
Yeah, if you faded Drake May and you picked up Kenny Walker, you pretty much had what you needed to.
Even if you thought it was going to go into garbage time, like where his price point was, you're better off. What's he going to do? Throw for 2 touchdowns? Like 2
At
touchdowns, 50 yards?
That was like his ceiling in that game too, because Seattle's defense was as scary as it was in 2014.
I watched that guy and granted the Broncos weather was bad, but I watched him struggle against the Chargers, and then I watched him struggle against the Texans, and I watched him struggle against the Broncos. Like, no, I don't think he's going to do well against the Seahawks.
Watching him struggle in the Broncos game was like pulling teeth.
He did just play the 4 best defenses in the league, like in a row, though. So that poor guy.
Yeah, but it's like they also walked through those games because they also had no offenses too. They could have handed the ball off. They probably could have taken knees basically every play of the game, like Red Bull you wanted to do against the Waterboy, and they probably they probably would have won every single game because their defense was that good compared to the shitty offenses that they played.
Houston tried that tactic against the Patriots at one point. They couldn't wait to punt it. Just to get the defense back on the field.
They punted on 3rd down or something like that.
We got him just where we want him.
Punt. This is exactly how I decided to run my game.
We're about to get 50 yards of field possession. Watch this.
Coach, you want to do what?
I'm about to get 50 yards on one play. Watch.
I guess you got to make crazy moves. It's the last game of the year, Brent. Can't hold anything back now.
We know, Goo. We know.
Except for the Waterboy, it fucking worked.
Because he didn't hold anything back.
It's because he didn't hold anything back.
All right. I really need to go to sleep.
All right, man. Tell Bruce and Amy I said hi. As always, guys, for the Rowdy Boys podcast, I am Goo. That is
Troy. Are we spacewalking out? We got to spacewalk out.
What the fuck is spacewalking out? Oh, the song?
Yeah. Put that on. Put that shit on. Spin that shit, DJ.
DJ Goo. Spin that shit into space.
It's not a spacewalk. There's 0 gravity.
All right, y'all. Now we're heading out into space.
Into space.
Bye.
Walk to you another time.
Oh, yeah.
As they say in space.
Space out.
Space out.